in the world.
What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. This shirt is in honor of the one and only Joshua Bardwell, who just was struggling on his stream because Comcast was being a dick, which I know all about when I lived in Charleston. Welcome to Monday Night Giveaways. We're doing our standard 4 giveaways every other week. Tonight, the main attraction, as sent over by Brain3d, is a Runcam Thumb. Runcam Thumb is going to be in our 4th giveaway with some other stuff, which is a Super Chat and PayPal-based giveaway. Anybody can enter. The first 3 giveaways are for patrons. $5, $10, $20, and up tier folks on Patreon. are going to be who is entered into the first 3 giveaways. I do that so that if you only fly toothpicks or tiny whoops, you can just enter the $5 a month giveaway tier. The price of that tier reflects how much it costs me to buy tiny whoop and toothpick stuff for those giveaways. If you only fly 3-inch micro stuff and cinewhoop stuff, that's the $10 a month tier. That's stuff that, you know, is specific here. And then there's the $20 a month 5-inch tier with, you know, obviously more expensive stuff. 5-inch stuff is more expensive than tiny whoop and cinewhoop stuff. So that's how it works. CiottiFPV.com has a link to my Patreon, or you can just go on there and search for me. And yeah, if you get in right now, you'll be able to get in on tonight's giveaways. Big Bean says TBS casting couch is unwatchable. Yeah, I agree. I can't watch their streams. In the chat, Richard Vaughn was first, Dan636 was next, Alpha Sloth, Borked, Jesse Garcia, Imp FPV, Chopper FPV, Riot9, Michael D, Brandon's Baked Beans, John Goblin, Remy Tim. Remy Tim, thanks for letting me know that Joshua was having issues. Remy Tim messaged me, he's like, yo, you should jump onto Joshua's stream. He's freaking out. Comcast is screwing him over. He was like, yo, you should wear your I Hate Comcast shirt. So, yeah, there we go. Who else we got in here? Ram Donko, Tommy Noose, Riot9, Borked again, No One FPV, Brandon's Baked Beans, Riot9 again, McConnell Studios in the house. What's up, Matt? Comcast is listening. I don't have any dropped frames. Is this stream going okay? Is it working for you guys? It fucking better be. Usually if it's not working, OBS will show me dropped frames. Frankie BFPV, Tuner Taxi, Michael D. I think I got everybody. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. Hope you're ready for some giveaways. We're gonna do an RDQ unboxing. I ordered some stuff from RDQ, and I'm gonna open it up and show you what I ordered. It's not really an unboxing, but you know, clickbait and all. Trying to be a good YouTuber. All kinds of dust. Maggie and I swung by our new house a little bit ago. That was pretty rad. I posted a picture of the red front door on Instagram. I've always, ever since, one of my favorite movies of all time is American Beauty. I actually wrote my senior practicum back in college. I went to school for TV, radio, film. My major, huge, you know, big 20-page paper towards the end of my time at college, I actually wrote about American Beauty, and the plan was to write about like the whole film, the visuals, the stuff between the lines. Once I really started ripping through it, I ended up writing 20 pages about the first 30 minutes of the film, because there's just so much. There's so much going on. There's so much hidden in there. Not hidden. I mean, it's right in front of you, but it's yeah, it's a hell of a movie. And they've got a red front door in that movie, so and so that was always like, oh, that'd be super cool to someday paint. If I ever can get into a house. Christ, it took me 20 years now after graduating college. But yeah, there was always this like cool thing of like, hey, if I ever end up in a house, I'm gonna try to paint the door red, a la American Beauty. It's just a cool, you know, it's just like a cool look. It's like that, I don't know, it's the house's mouth. Why shouldn't it have red lipstick on? What? So yeah, that was cool. We're trying to figure out what color to paint some of the walls are like a peachy kind of color, which is it kind of works, but we're just trying to figure out like what we want to do. The bedroom definitely needs to get painted. It's like this dark eggplanty purple kind of color. It's real dark in there. So yeah, we want to swing by one more time before all the paperwork gets signed tomorrow, and yeah, just take another walkthrough. Wild stuff. So yeah, lots of real life stuff going on, but let's focus on FPV stuff because that's what you guys came here for. Shout out to Joshua. Hopefully he's made himself a big drink to see. All right, so if you guys ever didn't believe me how unbelievably frustrating it is to live stream. Just watch Joshua Bardwell's like the last 10 minutes of Joshua's live stream from that ended like 10-15 minutes ago. It's not just me. Joshua is one of the calmest people I've ever met, and yeah, what's the I sent the he said, and I quote, he said, "And I'm not in a good mood right now because my stream is full of shit," in reference to not the people in his chat, but the fact that Comcast blows. So yeah, if you think it's just me being a raving lunatic, that's about 90% of it. Like, I'll take a lot of the blame here, but 10% of it is just that, like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's hard for me to draw like an analogy to it, because, like, you know, if you go into work tomorrow and all the things that you use to do your job don't work all of a sudden for no reason, like, you really wouldn't be that mad, because whatever, you're getting your paycheck anyway, right? It's different for us, because if we can't stream, we can't eat. And yeah, like, oh, it's stuttering. Oh yeah, there's some dropped frames. 59 dropped frames, 0.6%. Great. We'll do what we can. Yeah, lots of giveaways tonight, lots of really good stuff. But we need to get caught up on chat and hit on some things first before we dive into that. Because, you know, that's what you do on YouTube. You make people wait. If you want to talk to me direct in the chat, all you gotta do is type CiottiFPV. You can put an @ in front of it, but you don't need to. You type CiottiFPV, shows up in orange. I know you're talking to me. If you don't, I'll assume you're talking amongst yourselves, which is one of the beautiful things about my live streams here. The folks that hang out in the chat are brilliant, great pilots, great builders, smart, technically minded, engineering minded, awesome human beings who, yeah, are just amazing. So hang out in the chat, join the Patreon. These guys all hang out over on the Discord channel, which is great. Such a cool group over there. Yeah, pretty unique group of folks that have latched onto me, and we've become good friends. And yeah, it's I'm a lucky dude. CiottiFPV.com for all your FPV needs to support the gangliest of gangly ganglies. Patreon helps me the most. Fiverr is awesome because you can work directly with me one-on-one. Etsy store has some really fun stickers and hardware that you might need for your next build. TeeSpring store over there for some really fun t-shirts and mugs and sweatshirts and shit. And then there's a whole bunch of affiliate links. If you're doing an FPV order, think about your gangly friend, and maybe you can get me some free money by clicking one of my affiliate links. Off the top of my head, Get FPV, FPV Cycle. You know you're ordering from FPV Cycle. FPV Crate. Bang Good, Bang Bad. What would Bang Bad sell? Would Bang Bad sell shitty? Would Bang Bad sell good stuff? Since Bang Good sells garbage. Bang Bad would sell overpriced but really high quality stuff, I guess. And there's a couple others. Camera Butter, Oh My God's website. Yeah, bunch of affiliate links over there. Hook a brother up, click it before. Oh, Amazon too. If you, next time you're doing an Amazon order, I mean, every time you do an Amazon order, if you really want me to succeed, if you hit my Amazon affiliate link before you check out, I get free money. It's great. Amazon's like 1 or 2%. The rest of them are like 6%, which is a big deal. Somebody did like a almost $200 order on FPV Cycle the other day, and they used my affiliate link. I was like, oh, that's nice. So yeah, that's how you can support me. If you like these live streams and you want to see them keep going, that's all it takes. Click some buttons. There you go. Thumbs up, shit on the stream, whatever. Leave a comment. You know, wish death upon Comcast. Whatever you prefer. Imp FPV tagged me and said hello. CiottiFPV and the crew. Tommy News says, "What's up, man? How are you doing? I'm good. Hope you are as well." No One FPV says, "Yo, man. Hope you had a great day." I did. Got to hang out with my favorite people in the world. Sorry, it's not you guys. You're my second favorite people in the world. Where we at? Remy Tim says your stream froze for like 7 seconds. Awesome. Michael D says, speaking of hating com crap, you should see if you can get Google Fiber at the new house if it's available in Atlanta. Yeah, so I will be handling like all of the like utilities, I guess we could say, at the house. And one of which is going to be internet. So I'm going to figure out, like, I'm going to shop everybody. I'm going to shop Google Fiber, Verizon Fios, see what Comcast has, even though there's a snowball's chance in hell that I'll go with them. AT&T is probably out there as well. So yeah, I'm going to make absolutely sure. Sage, 16-year-old, he does a bunch of online gaming as well. And then, yeah, I mean, Netflix is usually on, Hulu, whatnot, and then me trying to stream. So, yeah, I'm gonna make it goddamn sure that I get heinously fast internet, at the new place. Cannot wait. Here at the apartment, Comcast is the only option, which is why, you know, I'm, whatever. Tuner Taxi says, what's up? Brandon's Baked Bean says it's working, but it hiccuped once. No one FPV says hourglass for a few seconds, but then it popped back in. That's what she said. Remy Tim says someone out there is trying to hurt the FPV industry. You're all good now. Just a small freeze to let you know if it keeps happening. Thank you, dude. Richard Vaughn says thoughts on the Beta FPV Pavo 30. In general, Beta FPV's quality control is enough for me to pretty much stay away from anything that they do. So yeah, I've stayed away from that rig. I don't know. It's probably okay. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different stuff out there. There's, I'll put it this way. There's plenty of other companies making very similar rigs to that, that don't have such an awful, record of quality control. So, in my opinion, go with those folks. If you already have it, you're probably fine. I have no idea. Beta FPV hasn't sent me anything in a long time, and I'll be damned if I'm going to waste any more money on their stuff. I've gotten burned by a bunch of stuff from them. Not as bad as HGLRC, not as bad as Happy Model, but kind of almost as. Tuner Taxi says, learn how to use HD0 so I can ask you questions. Oh, you know, help. FPV Exchange was cool enough to send me HD0 a long time ago. There have been a bunch of occasions where it's been like in the on-deck circle here for like the next build. Every time that has happened, I've gone on YouTube and I've like searched for HD0 and sorted by recency to take a look at the quality to see if it's gotten any better, basically. And every time that I do that, I'm just not impressed at all. Like the 1 watt VTX, yeah, that made things a lot better, but Jesus Christ, it's $100. It's huge and it's really heavy. So that's kind of a deal breaker there. Every single time I look up anybody flying with the 200 milliwatt VTXs in a freestyle setting, it's just not good. 200 milliwatts is just not going to outperform 600. So yeah, every time that I've been like, all right, it's going to go in the next build, I go through that exercise and I'm like, or not. I don't know. Like I do want to get it into a build, and there is a Rip Squeak that it is in the build bag with. But that's like a couple of builds in the future. There's a few builds before it, and as you guys know, it takes me forever to get builds done. And that's, you know, that it takes me a lot longer now to get builds done, since I'm splitting my time and living with Maggie and the kids half the week where I don't have all my tools and I basically just, you know, fly and talk from Studio 2. But hopefully at the end of July, once things settle down a little bit and I've moved in and taken over the half of the basement, and got a flashy new studio set up, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to start banging through some of these builds, because my god, I'm like 12 builds deep. There's like 12 builds in the on deck boxes. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, that'll be cool, but Yeah, if they were to come out with a 500 or 600 milliwatt, small, lightweight, not $100 VTX, I'd be all over it. But they haven't. So it's, yeah, I want to check it out really bad, but like, I can't justify spending 10 hours on a build that I'm probably not gonna fly, because, you know, I gotta put the goggles and the module thing on the front of my goggles and plug things in, and then it's gonna be a 200 milliwatt rig, and I don't really fly 200 milliwatt rigs anymore. So yeah, at some point for sure, but don't hold your breath. No One FPV says, why settle for one color? Go for thermochromic. What were we talking about with color? Oh, wall paint. Yeah, I guess that's the paint thermo. I guess that would be the paint that changes color with heat. That'd be interesting. I'd be down for that, but I'm not the voice of reason. Michael Blade says, hey bud, I will say this, Tuner Taxi, I will absolutely have an HD0 rig for next year's Rampage, if there is a Rampage next year, because analog in Micro Mayhem is just worthless. An HD0 looked shockingly decent. DJI was like bulletproof in there. It was gorgeous in there. So yeah, for next year's Micro Mayhem, I'm gonna be primarily on digital rigs, because the multipathing in there is just horrendous. So yeah, next year Rampage, I'll be able to help you out with. Probably not. I probably won't. I probably won't spend a lot of time learning about it. I'll just do bare minimum to get it up and running, which is basically just searching for other people's how-to videos here on YouTube. No One FPV says, I'm a contractor, same rules apply, equipment doesn't work, no pay. So yeah, I guess contractors know how frustrating it is. Very, very good point. Jonathan Lewis says, what's the best tinywhoop AIO flight controller? In my opinion, the Newbie Drone well, I mean, technically the Newbie Drone V1 is my favorite, but good luck finding one. Newbie Drone V3 seems to be the best one. The racers disagree, but I'm not a racer, so I don't care. If you're racing, you should ask a racer that question. They'll probably tell you the Happy Model boards, but I don't like them. The quality control is abysmal. I shouldn't say I don't like them. I don't like recommending them to you guys. I like flying them while they work. It does, by the way, it does look like... Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. Never mind. I was going to say, it does look like my one blew up, but no, it's. I think it's a startup power issue. Although it shouldn't be. It's acting very weird. It might be blown up. Yeah, that's the best one. Ruby Tim dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, dude. ImpFPV says, any chances for European affiliate links anytime soon? I don't know of any European stores that have affiliate programs. Banggood is really the only one. I've talked to Joshua about this. He doesn't really have any affiliate links to European stores either, and he's got his shit together tenfold over me. So yeah, if you can get a European FPV shop to get their website onto a platform that supports affiliate programs, I think that's the problem. And if they're willing to give a very small channel an affiliate hookup, I would love to. But good luck, because yeah, you have to be on like... You have to be on a half a decent, I don't know. The small retailers, none of the small retailers have affiliate setups. So I have a feeling that you have to be on a half decent, I don't know. Riot9 says, seriously, can you ask Tommy to make more he probably already knows, but I will shoot him a message. Come on, internet. Come on, Comcast, you scumbag. And my chat are asking you to make more Apex. I'm a grip. All right. Ramdonko says Arctic white, moonlight white, gloss, eggshell, etc. Then add color. Arctic white. I guess those are some of the names of the different house paints. Tommy News says just subbed for $5. Very cool, Tommy. Welcome to the collective. You're gonna love your stay. Yeah, join my Patreon or I'm gonna attack you physically. I promise you'll get more than what you pay for by joining the Patreon. Glenn Burnett says hit that like button, y'all. Thank you, brother. Remy Tim says the HD 1 watt is only 7.2 grams more than the Vista, both measured without camera. It's bulky as hell, yes. Jesus, it's 7.2 grams more than the already fat as shit Vista? Good God. Wow. I am not happy with the amount of weight that my rigs gained from putting Vistas into them. I did not realize that the 1 watt is that much heavier than the Vista. I was already totally uninterested in it, and now I'm even less interested in it. Jesus Christ. Great Southern FPV and RC with a $5 Australian super chat. He says $5 for the course, my friend. PS5. Thank you, brother. Let's get that added in here, and we are going to. I'm gonna round it off because I don't know what the Australian conversion is, and we're just gonna do 165. It's probably pretty close. Thank you, dude. Very, very cool of you. Thanks for supporting the madness. Slat FPV is in the chat. What's up, Slat? How you been, brother? I hope you're doing well. We missed you at Rampage, but I'm sure that you'll make it next year. I forget what somebody told me what happened. I was like, it sucks. I think it was like something happened last second. We'll have to hang next year. Frankie B FPV says I have a Kopis Race 3 T-motor 1507 motors. Motor 3 gets hot and the other 3 are cool. Change props, tighten screws, just replace. If so, do you have a recommendation? 1507 is kind of a bad motor size that gets hot almost no matter what you do. I don't know that rig. I don't know any of the bind and fly rigs. But if you're, typically so that's called a Race 3. So I'm assuming it's a 3-inch rig. 1507s on a 3-inch rig are, in my opinion, way too much power. So I'm gonna recommend going down to like a 1504 or a Toka 1505. The 1504 is a iFlight Zing. That's going to also bring the weight down on that rig quite a bit, and you're going to gain a ton of throttle resolution, which will make you literally fly better. That would be my recommendation. What is happening over here? All right. Ramdongo says, I'll give you a mention UK on my next purchase. Nice. Thank you, Ram. AthixFPV says, saying hey from Bob Noxious and Family Guyver. We are at Castle Crash. Very cool. Very, very cool. I wish I'd gone to Castle Crash, but there's just so much going on right now. It's a lot. It's really a lot. Slat says, stability, I think. Stability for life, man. Doesn't hide a bad pilot, just eases prop wash from bent props. I pissed a ton of people off a while back when I said, we should be thankful of the people that use in-camera stabilization because it makes their footage look better, and so that when we watch it, we have a better viewing experience. I was saying that like a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I'm not a fan. I don't like the in-camera stabilization because it rounds off all the edges. Like I really prefer the way that flight footage looks when you can like just stick bang basically and throw in like a really sharp rotation and then kind of smooth it out yourself. That's just me though. Like, you know, what do I know? You know, I'm not a great pilot. I don't have a big YouTube channel. With the fact that anybody listens to me is kind of insane anyway. So, yeah, I feel like more pro pilots. I feel like more than 50% of pro pilots fly with in-camera stabilization. So, you know, listen to them. Don't listen to me. What the fuck do I know? But yeah, it's a very personal thing. I don't understand why people get so angry about it. It's, you know, if somebody's using it and you don't like it, don't fucking watch them. It's like, this isn't hard. Like, don't go onto their channel and call them an asshole. That's why so many people that's why so many pro pilots have stopped putting content up. Like, so, you know, if you don't want any more FPV content, then yeah, shit on everybody. But if you want more FPV content, then stop shitting on people. It's pretty straightforward. You know? It's not... This ain't rocket surgery. So yeah. All right. Michael Blades says, "You're so humble, CiottiFPV, you're really good." I'm all right. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm all right. But I'm nothing compared to any of the other pro pilots. Like, I'm nothing. I am, yeah, pretty shit in comparison. But that's fine. You know, I spent a bunch of years really working hard to be a better pilot. And then I stopped, and I stopped flying freestyle really hard. And the live streams, you know, I became a full-time, whatever the hell this is. And yeah, you can't do that. Like, if you want to be one of the best, you have to practice a lot. Or just be like naturally gifted. I wasn't necessarily naturally gifted at it. I had to work my ass off to get to the point where I'm at. And yeah, I got to a point where I was not horrified by the way that I fly, and then I was like, all right, cool, now I can focus on some other things. And on one hand, I would love to. On one hand, I would love to kind of like get back into freestyle and spend more time and try to get better to kind of close the gap. But unfortunately, flying freestyle doesn't pay hardly anything. You can get like sponsorships and then they'll give you like $50 of free shit a month, but that's about it. And you can't go and sell that shit. You gotta fly that shit. So they send you a bunch of stuff for free and then you just destroy it. So yeah, there's, you know, we can count on one hand how many full-time freestyle pilots are able to make a living. So if you want to, yeah, that's just kind of that. Not a bad thing. Just, you know, flying freestyle is how you get good for sure. But if you don't hate your day job, you can keep flying freestyle and just keep, you know, making content and get a little bit of free some free stuff. But really that's about it. It's almost impossible to monetize being a full-time freestyle pilot and not live in a cardboard box. We're a niche within a niche, right? Like, you got to understand that. For me, in my opinion, the whole flying freestyle thing is just basically building up your portfolio. This is why I've spent so much time on my edits forever, you know, 20, 30, 40 hours of editing to try to get rid of the garbage flying to make myself look better than I am. Which kind of works because it takes me so long to get through the edit that, like, like by the time that the edit actually goes up, it's usually like a year old, and I've edited out all the shit flying, and hopefully by that point I'm as good as what the edit shows. But yeah, it's just it's interesting. FPV is a wild new, like there's no rule book, right? It's like every single one of us is doing it in a pretty different way. There is kind of a formula, which is to review products, right? Like if you want to be successful, the easy way, you just review products. But I hate reviewing products. And if I do something that I hate, I'm not gonna do it anymore. So I stopped doing product reviews a long time ago. I know that I need to start doing them again, but I just don't want to. Great Southern RC and FPV and RC says, how do you get sponsors? Do you just email them or question mark? I don't. I let them come to me. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but I've heard from everybody that emailing them doesn't really work. You know, if you're putting good content out there, and you should be tagging them when you do that, they're gonna see it, and if you do enough of it, and if they deem that you're working hard enough for them, and they're willing to send you some free stuff in exchange, then they will. If you email them, it's awkward because it's like, you know, hey, it's just very like, hey, look at me, I don't know. There's probably a way to do it, but I don't know. It's, here's the thing. In my opinion, you don't really want sponsors. Like the amount of time that you have to put in to maintain that relationship and or get them to sponsor you, you will never get back. Never get back. Like if you're driven to get sponsored, you're basically going to be paying yourself like $1 an hour. It's just the way that it is. So don't again, just in my opinion, I who am I, right? I'm probably wrong with all this, but yeah, in my experience and in my opinion, it's not a good use of your time to try to get sponsorships. The way that you want to use your time is focusing on flying good, you know, being as good of a pilot as you possibly can, making the best possible content that you can, and just kind of giving back to the community. They also notice that stuff, right? Like, yeah, help people out. Like, do things that will just do good shit, and hopefully they notice it. I've not really heard of anyone that has been like, yeah, I emailed T-Motor and they were like, oh, cool, I'll sponsor you. It just, I guess, unless you're absolutely huge, right? But if, like, yeah, I don't know. Don't listen to me. What do I know? Michael D says, welcome to the 40s, my man. To the 40s? Like the 1940s? Or as in, like, I'm 41 years old now. All right, cool. Caught up on chat. Let's, it's time for a little bit of my... Time to stare at my balls. That's my address. Hopefully you didn't see that. I ordered some stuff from RDQ, and this is what it is. So, you guys may remember, I put the Happy Model EX. Hey, by the way, that little thingy is from Mighty Car Mods. I just stole it from them. Go subscribe to them. It's short enough where I don't think I get copyright stricken from it, but I still stole it from them. So go, if you're into cars at all, they're the best car channel on YouTube. So go and give them a sub. You can thank me later. when I put the Happy Model EX0802, what I thought were 25,000 kV motors, onto the Mobula 6 last week, I realized that they were the 19,000 kVs, and I was like, man, what the fuck? I know I ordered the 25,000, they must have fucking sent me 19,000. Motherfuckers fucked me over, fuck, man. So I looked up my previous orders, and yeah, I'm the asshole, of course. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I really wonder how I'm this dumb and I'm still alive. But yeah, I ordered the 19,000s. When I was doing this order on RDQ, they had one of the 25,000s in stock, so I snagged it. So I'm 25% of the way. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what this is. It's a EX0802. EX is the Unibel Happy Model 0802 25,000s. They're also lighter than the dual piece. So in theory, this is the absolute best of the tinywhoop 65mm tinywhoop motors. Although I have heard from a bunch of people that these things are spitting magnets out. I want to test that myself though. So yeah, I'm gonna get a full set and bash the shit out of them, and we'll see if they survive. This is the Happy Model Runcam Nano 3. The one of these that came with my Mobula 7 has died. It just got all milky white and stopped working, so snagged another one. It's not exciting because it's just a replacement. I snagged another one of the Mobula 7 canopies with the 4 mounting holes because they're a little bit stronger. I got a bunch of these M2 aluminum cup washer collar things because a bunch of these new micro frames are unfortunately using M2 hardware and standoffs, which, as I've screamed and yelled a bunch about, is a terrible idea in my opinion, but again, what the hell do I know? These little guys. The Tooth Fairy 2 uses them all over the place, which is kind of fine because that's a tinywhoop frame. The AOS 3.5 uses them, which was really disappointing. Yeah, these I like these because they just spread the force out a little bit of the screws. I really dig using these on TPU camera mounts because they will, especially with M2 screws, the heads are just absolutely tiny, as she said, and the TPU will just rip right out of them in a crash. So this makes a little bit bigger of a contact patch. Not much. I still think I'm gonna have problems, but it's all I can really do. So I snagged a bunch in black, red, and purple. And then I got some little purple M2 nuts, which is kind of fun. I don't know. I had to get over the free shipping number, so I was struggling. This is the 225mm strap that I always get, and I got 2 F40 Pro 4s because I only had 3 of them to get the Rossi back up in the air, and then I wanted to have an extra. So, yeah, that's my RDQ order. Was that the most exciting thing you guys have ever seen on a live stream? Let me get this out of here and put it over with the other 3 motors. Get out! There we go. All right, cool. So yeah, we can get the Rossi back up, but this Rip Squeak is all spread out. So I'm gonna have to get that back up in the air first, which is good because I want to spend a bunch of time this summer. I wanted to last summer too, but I didn't. But yeah, I want to spend a bunch of time this summer flying these 3-inch rigs more than the 5-inch rigs. What I've realized is that these 3-inch rigs, when I'm on a gig, are the easiest and cheapest way to kind of check the RF situation. So yeah, I've been bringing them to the gigs with me, and that way I can actually fly them. Realistically, like at this point, the only flying I do is when I'm being paid, which, you know, first world problems and all, but it doesn't really allow me to do much freestyle flying. With these things, they're so small and light and safe, that, yeah, like I can rip really hard even though I'm at a gig, and like if I lose one, it's not as much of a disaster as losing a 5-inch freestyle rig with a GoPro on it, you know? Especially mine, because they've got the Session 5s on them, which are like gold nowadays. So there you guys go. There's my RDQ unboxing. Move this stuff around a little bit here. That goes over there. This goes over here. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. This is going to go in with the giveaways, which are coming up at roughly 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock. We'll see. And throw those stickers in there as well. This is over here. This is over there. All right, cool. Where am I at in chat? Great. We got that. Right, 9 says, we are too elite to see your interest. Great Southern says, I think I've been working with the local Harley stunt crew, what has given me heaps of new content to film, so I'll keep working on that. If you get a chance, I'd love to get your opinion. I don't, to be totally honest, Great Southern, I don't really watch much, if any, FPV content anymore. If you catch me on the right day and I have a little bit of time, I'll certainly take a look, but my God, time is something that's just impossible to come by for me lately. Good problem to have. Yeah, my mental illness really comes on when I don't have a lot to do. Unfortunately, it also comes online when I have too much to do, so I have to be really careful to stay like in between there. But yeah, fair warning. Like there's, yeah, I'm like 5 or 6 days behind on certain text messages and certain emails. It's just chaos. But I try my best. Yeah, I do as much as I possibly can every day, and then the following day is a new opportunity to charge through as much stuff as I can, and that's all I can do. Yeah. Great Southern says, how about frames should come with motor screws? They should. Yeah, frames absolutely should come with motor screws. It's kind of silly that they don't. Rocky B FPV says, what's up, chat? And CiottiFPV made it a little late. Made sure to drop in and say what's up. Right, good to go. What was the other thing? Wasn't there something else? Yeah, yet again. Huge shout out to Brain3d, my newest sponsor, for sending over a Runcam Thumb for this giveaway tonight. That is going to be the super chat giveaway with some other stuff. Hat, if you're double XL, Brain3d shirt. If you're single XL, Gem Fan shirt. If you get the Gem Fan shirt, man, are you in for a treat? Man, are your nipples in for a treat? They're the softest goddamn shirts in the entire world. I asked them for medium, but they sent extra large, which, man, that made me very sad, because I don't know who the hell they had made these shirts, but I've never experienced a t-shirt as soft as these Gem Fan shirts, and I've got 3 of them. So yeah, they're gonna be in giveaways. So hopefully a bunch of you guys are extra large that win the giveaways. Danny R says, what's a good charger to invest into? Had mine take a shit on me. If you head on over to Joshua Bardwell's website, fpvknowitall.com, he's got a whole charger section. I've only ever owned like 3 chargers, so I don't have a good handle on what's good and what's not. Joshua has tested a shitload of the chargers, and he's just way smarter than I am when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, whatever's on his website is what you should buy, and you're gonna get probably the best of the options. Wednesday night, we're gonna do some whooping from Maggie's house because paperwork is being signed on the house tomorrow, and then I figure I'm just gonna crash there tomorrow night. So I want to get these tiny whoops kind of going for that. This one needs the startup power turned up a little bit. Well, hold on. Let's take a look at these tiny whoops. They were flying a little rough yesterday. How much amps the thumb takes? It's not usually an amp thing. You can't like change the amount of amps that get sent to something. Is your question how many volts does the thumb take? Because yeah, there's really no answer to how many amp. Well, no, I guess you can look up. I guess you can look up the amp draw that it has. I have no idea. But I'm sure if you just type it into Google, you'll have your answer pretty quick. I don't mean to sound like a dick by saying that, but like I you know, for me to look that up, I would just type it into Google and it would just give me the answer real quick. So, yeah, but that's not great content for the live stream. So I will leave that to you, Guillermo. Jesus, I just made a big mess. Does this have the... Yes, this has that plate in it. All right, so I need to leave that out. Okay, here are the tinywhoop Zeus Juice motors that unfortunately one of them threw a magnet, and Jesse has not had these in stock in a long time, so I'm just gonna kind of like retire them until I can get another set from them. But it would appear I'm going to need the little tool. This is the Weeha chip lifter. This is the best little tool in the whole wide world for removing tiny whoop props. And I have a link to this down below in my description in the gear that I use and recommends, or the gear that I use and trust section. Yeah, if you've got tiny whoops, get yourself a Weeha chip lifter, and you will no longer curse the heavens when you have to try to get the propellers off the damn things. All right, so this is one of the good motors. I'm going to show you guys the lack of a magnet because it's kind of funny looking in the bad motor. Who's got questions? This is a Q&A stream, so feel free to ask any and all FPV questions that you've got, and we will talk about them live. Joe Pro FPV forgot to tag me, but I just happened to see his question, which is a good one. Oh god, that's a big long hair. Thoughts on the new Bobito from Bubby and Rotor Riot? It's super cool. I love that you can top mount the battery. What did I do with the other one? I love that you can top mount the battery. I just don't... this whole, like, smaller than 3-inch toothpick thing, I don't understand it. Like, a 3-inch toothpick is infinitely safe and light, and the flight characteristics are unbelievable. So I don't understand going below that size, other than, like, you know, everybody's doing it, right? So why not jump on the hype train, which will get you more views. I mean, seeing him fly it is wild. For me, I don't know where I would fly that. Like, I'm not a good enough pilot to fly a non-ducted tiny whoop inside. And then if I'm outside, the smallest, lightest weight thing I want to fly is going to be a 3-inch toothpick. So I don't personally understand it. Maybe if I was a better pilot, it'd be different because I could fly it inside, but I'm just not. And so, yeah. But if you're a better pilot than me, maybe it's going to be a good fit for you. for flying around inside, it is certainly going to outperform the hell out of any ducted tinywhoop from an aerodynamics perspective and give you much better flight characteristics. But, you know, you're going to ruin your walls, you're going to break a shitload of motors and props, and, you know, those are all kind of deal breakers for me. So, you know, it's probably the best of the little micro toothpicks, I guess maybe you could call them. But I don't understand those micro toothpicks, so it's just kind of a... I just don't get it. Which is probably... It's probably just me. I am going to build one at some point here, but it is not a high priority. So here you go. Here's the Zeus Juice 0802 with the missing magnet. See that? That little magnet in there is probably stuck to the gigantic metal crane in the middle of the micro mayhem. Yeah, that stinks because these were a good motor. I guess I can save the stator, but on a tinywhoop, you really don't lose the stators all that much. So let me show you guys how to tear apart a little tiny motor, or at least how I do it, because it is good to know. So this bell is completely worthless because you're not going to glue that magnet back in there without. You're just not going to glue that magnet back in there. It's just not going to happen. But this stator is totally fine. So let's take the bell off of the stator, and then we'll throw the bell away. So I use a pair of these really fine-tipped, smooth kind of needle nose pliers. And the first thing I'll try to do is put one side of the pliers on the motor shaft and then the other side on the C-clip, and just kind of like... let me give it a second to focus. Come on, man. Really? Are you fucking... Jesus. What are you doing for the whole time? Are you just... Goddamn Logitech scumbags. So just like this, see the open end of the C-clip, right? So one pair of the pliers there, one pair on the open end, and you can just push it a little bit, right? You just want to push it exactly that much so that it's now kind of balanced there. And now you got to be careful because this thing is liable to go flying across the room, and it's nice to have an extra... God, come on, really? What? Work! Do your one job on Earth. Jesus Christ. Great. Now it put it... Oh, you fucking assholes, Logitech. I forgot about this. If you start their software, for some reason it automatically switches it from 16:9 to 4:3, and there's no way to... Oh, you bastards. Okay. I guess there is a way to fix that. Oh, well now of course it decided to fucking focus. So, no, I can't do that anymore because it'll take 10 days for it to refocus. So yeah, I pushed it back a little bit. Now, to get it the rest of the way off, try to just keep like a finger over top of it to keep it from wanting to fire across the room. And just kind of come in, and you just need to kind of nudge it a little bit. And it should just kind of pop the rest of the way off just like that. And if you're lucky, it'll be stuck to your thumb. And then save that, because I've not found a good source for these. But you should be breaking enough motors where you have some extras. Sometimes there is then going to be a little tiny washer on here, so really carefully remove that, because you'll never find one that's that right size. And now this is interesting. This is either a Teflon washer or this motor might have plastic bushings in it. Most of these little 0802s do not have bearings. They have metal bushings. And okay, no, this is a piece of Teflon. Okay, I was about to say I have not seen one of these with a plastic bushing before, and this is not one of them either. So this is just a little tiny Teflon washer. So we're gonna just really carefully pop that out of there. There we go. And now you can see the metal bushing. I'm not going to show it to you because I'm afraid it's going to never focus again. So now we can just carefully pull the bell up off the stator, and there you go. And it looks like there's another little Teflon plastic washer on the top here, so I'm going to actually remove that as well. Oh, actually now it seems like it might be kind of glued in there. No, there it goes. There it goes. And there you have it. So we got a couple of spare plastic Teflon, whatever the hell they are, washers. And we've got our bell that can go in the garbage can. Actually, I'm going to save it. I have a big bag of used, broken shit that someday I want to do like a little, sculpture-y thing with. And there's another little washer on top here. Good on you, tinywhoop. And then there's the metal bushings. But we can leave these metal bushings. What I'll do at this point is throw this stator into a little bag and label it. And I'll put the little washers and whatnot in the bag. Another hair. To kind of just keep it all together. So, yeah. That's my process when a motor gets banged up. I basically just try to salvage everything that I possibly can from it that I might need or that somebody else might need in the future. So we've got tinywhoop 0802 25,000 Zeus Juice. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, keep it all together. It's kind of annoying to do this when I'm saving the motor bell because it's magnetic, so it'll suck the C-clip to it, and sometimes you can forget that you had a C-clip in there, and you put a motor together with the bell and it doesn't spin because there's a C-clip stuck to one of the magnets inside. So try to keep that in mind. But, yeah, there you go. Save your broken stuff. It'll come in handy at some point, I'll bet you. Okay, so I need to screw around with these later. These 3 Zeus Juices I'm just going to throw in there. That's fine. Let me get out of this awful Logitech software. All right. In the chat, CMYK's in the house. What's up, homie? Joe Pro says, thanks, man. Also, nice meeting you at Rampage. I can't put a face to the YouTube name, Joe Pro. I'm sure you didn't. Most people don't introduce themselves with their YouTube names. But tell me something that's unique about you, and I'll probably remember you. Paul McDonald says, what do you like about the Glide over the Sonicare? It seems Bob's opinion is Sonicare is better than the Glide. I mean, one of the big things about the Glide is that I'm all the way into that ecosystem, right? Like, for me to change would be like fucking 30, 40 hours of work probably. Really, OBS? Come on now. So yeah, that's admittedly that's a big part of the reason that I stick with the Glide is just because I'm all the way in. You know, I've got like 6 of them built, and it's nice to be able to part share between them. That being said, though, this only discharges it down to. Oh right, this is not a. This is just a regular discharger. Okay, that's fine. Some of the other things I like about the Glide, though, is that it does not use vertical carbon camera plates, so you can change the deck height to your heart's content. I have glides that are on 15 millimeter standoffs. I have other ones that are on 25 millimeter standoffs and everything in between. Much better arm selection for glides. You can get 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter, True X. True X is another thing I like about it. But yeah, you can get 4 mil, 5 mil, 6 mil, regular old 5-inch arms. You can get dead cat 5-inch arms. You can get dead cat 5.5-inch arms. You can get 6-inch arms. You can get 7-inch arms. So you can build multiple glides for multiple specific tasks, and you've got the same center section. I also prefer one single big thick arm versus two skinnier A-arm setup. Basically, here in Atlanta, everything that we smash into is either metal or concrete or brick or cement. And when you send, when you put something solid in here and it's a double A-arm setup, it's always going to break that front arm because it's so thin. Whereas when you have a nice big thick arm here, it'll just tuck itself in here, and the frames are really strong in here. You actually will not break an arm from an object coming in like this on a single thick arm frame. What else? I don't know. That's probably enough. There's probably a bunch more reasons, but yeah, those are the main reasons that all about the glide. The Sonicare, in terms of like vibration resistance, is definitely better, but vibration resistance is like 5% of why you should buy a frame. It's not 100%. I love the work that Chris Roster's been doing. I love that we have frames now that are more resistant to vibes from the motors and the props, but the glide frame is a good example of like it's good enough, and most frames have been good enough for freestyle pilots, at least. If you're, I don't know, I would rather have a frame that's, I would rather have a frame that is better to live with, easier to take apart, crashes better, than a frame that I can crank that I can save another millisecond of latency from dropping the filters more and get 2 or 3 more points of P gain. In the real world, like on a glide frame, you can get the tune so good that it's like done. This chasing this last like millisecond or 2 of latency, I'm not a good enough pilot to notice that. Maybe you are, and that's, you know, that's gonna lean your decision one way or the other. But man, I can't tell the difference between a 10 millisecond change in latency or a 20 millisecond change in latency. And the science says that the human brain can't. I forget what the actual number is, but yes, technically speaking, it doesn't matter if we can tell or not because it's there. But I've never, in almost 6 years of flying tens of thousands of batteries, I have never had a crash that if I had 2 milliseconds less latency, it would have prevented. So I don't care. Like the glide is good enough at that one thing that, you know, is a part of what makes living with what makes a frame live withable. And yeah, there's a lot of other things that make other frames perform better and whatnot. So all that being said, I've never flown the Sonicare, but I don't need to fly it. Like this whole like, oh, fly the frame, it'll change your mind. Like, no, that's just dumb. Like, frames don't fly any different. The PID controller makes all of these frames fly to pretty much exactly what your rates are. Technically speaking, yes, a TrueX frame does have a mechanical advantage, and it does feel better, a little bit better on the pitch axis. It's a little snappier, and that's what the glide frame is. It's a TrueX frame. It's another thing I really like about it. But you could just add a couple of points of P gain to the pitch axis and pretty much do the exact same thing on a Squished X frame. That there are downsides to pushing the P gain up like that, but yeah, anybody that for the most part, anybody that says that they can that they can feel the difference between two frames, and there's not a it's not a situation where like one is a True X and one is a Squished X, right? If it's like two Squished X frames or two True X frames, as long as one of those two frames isn't dog shit, right? Like if we were comparing, like, this is gonna piss somebody off, but I don't care, because you need to hear this. If it was like a comparison of like an Armatan frame versus like an FPV cycle frame or one of Rosser's frames or something like that, sure, you're probably gonna notice a difference because the Armatan frame is so bad from like a noise standpoint, a vibration standpoint, that you're literally not going to be able to get the PID tune anywhere near where you can on any other frame, really. Sure, but if you've got two frames that you're able to get the PIDs remotely close to each other, or hopefully exactly the same, you're just not going to feel a difference. And if you think you're feeling a difference, it's just placebo. Like placebo is so strong. Like some of the best pilots in the world will blind test. Look at like Joshua and Stinger Swarm. Like they blind tested a difference of 20 milliseconds in latency and could barely tell. Joshua couldn't tell. I don't think either of them could actually tell. So yeah, like there's just no difference in the real world. If you just spend a bunch of money on the frame and a bunch of time building it and you swear to God that you can tell, that's cool. But that's just your brain lying to you. That's just your brain making you feel better about the fact that you just spent a whole bunch of money and time. You know, I know you don't want to hear that, but you need to hear that because it's important. It's actually really, really important to realize that, and to have someone tell you that. If you choose to believe me or not, that's on you. But like, you need to hear that, because once you realize how much placebo there really is, that is going to drastically change how often you buy shit, because you're going to stop jumping on the fucking hype train and wasting money on stuff that's just hot right now, and ends up sitting on your wall. And you're also going to be able to more accurately review things for yourself and buy the right stuff. So yeah, fight the placebo, yo. It's very, very strong. And one of the biggest problem, in my opinion, is that we're not sitting on the quad. So the only representation that we have to be able to tell the difference between any of this stuff is visual. And that is a really shitty medium to be able to tell the difference, especially when you consider that when we hammer the throttle, almost nothing changes in our view unless we're really low to the ground. If you're like 2 feet, or if you're from like 2 feet in the air to like 2,000 feet in the air and you hammer the throttle and chop the throttle, you can't see a goddamn thing. The clouds move a fraction of a millimeter and that's it. So anybody that's like, oh yeah, I could tell the difference on the throttle, like, yeah, bullshit, bro. Like, tell me more. Tell me how. Oh, I just went to my local, like, it's just nonsense. Just, you know, understand that there's all kinds of placebo, and by not fighting against the placebo, you're costing yourself a lot of money and a lot of time. So don't do that. There's nothing wrong. It's all good. I'm wrong all day, every day. Be wrong. The only way to learn and get better is to be wrong. When you're right, you don't learn anything. When you're wrong, you learn something. So be wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong 1,000 times a day, every single day. Admit that shit. Own it. Because it'll allow you to get better. It's one of the ways to get better. Gotta be wrong. Great Southern says, what camera are you using? I need more to go on than that, Great Southern. This here is a Canon Rebel SL1. But I don't know if you're talking about I don't know if you're talking about this camera or this camera or this camera or any of those cameras up on the wall, or, you know, my DSLR that I shoot stills with. Yeah, I need more to go on. Tommy News says, what would make 2 of the 4 motors stop when you yaw a curtain direction? And on the Babito, I had the iFlight Baby Naz. The same thing with different motors, and it's super, super fun. Very cool. I have no idea what a yaw curtain is, Tommy. I'm assuming that's a phone spell check, but I can't. I'm not seeing a word that would be spell checked to curtain. So tag me again, ask the whole question again, because it'll probably be 20 minutes before I get to it, because I am behind on chat. Terminal Insanity says, is there a way to toggle on off the DJI Vista? The only thing I can think of is if you try to figure out how to put, if your flight controller has a pit, like a physical pit mode on-off switch thing, and if that circuit outputs enough voltage, I guess you could put it on that. You could feed it power from that, and then you could use pit mode to turn it off and on. The problem with turning it off in a crash is that now you don't have video, and it makes the rig harder to find. If I were you, I would just turn on low power mode, because low power mode is going to drop the power of it down as it overheats. So I would just do that. But, you know, that's on you. Joe Pro says, I give you a go-go squeeze, LMAO. Now I know exactly who you are, brother. It's good meeting you as well. We talked in the tent for a little bit. Very, very cool. Glad you made it over to the madness that is my live streams. What else we got going on? No One FPV says, endorphins are more powerful than truth. Yeah. Paul McDonald with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. He says, CiottiFPV, okay. No need to move to the Sonicare, it sounds like. Thanks, good sir. Love my 2 glides now. Maybe it's time to make a 6-inch one. If you're gonna do a 6-inch rig, so when we go away from 5-inch rigs, we lose hundreds of thousands of hours of R&D that have been done over the last like 7 or 8 or 9 years that FPV has been a thing, and 5-inch has been the magical mystery formula that just works really well. I don't think it's that much of a mystery, to be honest. I think that 5-inch just is the best prop size to carry the payload that we carry, right, which is a 80 to 125 gram GoPro. When you move away from 5-inch, vibrations become much more of an issue. Less so with micros, because as you go smaller, the RPMs go higher. That raises the frequency that the vibrations happen. When you do that, you move those frequencies away from the sub 100 hertz range, which is where all the physical motions happen on the quad, and that's a good thing. The higher your resonant frequencies are, the better. Especially because higher frequencies get filtered harder for less CPU cycles. 6-inch and 7-inch, there's definitely an advantage to a frame that handles vibrations better. So if you're gonna build a 6 or a 7-inch rig, I would actually think, and also 6 and 7-inch rigs don't get crashed really hard typically, right? They're not like hardcore freestyle basher rigs. So it actually kind of makes sense. to move to an A-arm style frame like the Sonicare or like Chris Rosser's AOS frames. So yeah, if you're gonna do a 6-inch build, I would actually think long and hard about the that being said, I have put 6-inch arms on the Glide before, and with smooth motors, they fly fine. They deal with the vibrations totally fine. And if you've already got 2 glides, it's nice to be able to share parts, right? It's nice to be able to have 1 extra top plate, 1 extra bottom plate, and that'll replace any of your 3 rigs. But yeah, there are some potential serious performance improvements, more so than like 2 milliseconds of latency, like we were talking about a minute ago, if you're going up to 6-inch, 7-inch, and beyond. So there you go. I just made the decision harder for you. Thanks for your $5, though. Here's the long and short of it, though. You can't go wrong with either. They're both great frames. Regardless of which one you get, it's going to fly great. You're probably not going to be able to tell the difference either way. Maybe you might actually be able to tell the difference up at 6-inch, up at 7-inch, but the difference is going to be very, very small. So, Tommy Noose says, Stinger Storm could tell, but it really doesn't matter because in most cases, unless you're a super racer like Vanny, and he flies DJI for jobs and freestyle. So, I thought Kevin was 50-50. I thought Kevin only got it right half the time. Regardless, he didn't get it right every single time, and he's been flying for 7 or 8 years. So unless you're better than him, you're probably not going to be able to tell a difference. So what does it matter? It does kind of matter, but you know what I'm saying. Ramdango says, what's the red flashing light behind you? What the hell? I think that's like an ambulance. Hold on. What the hell? Jesus. It would appear that someone's apartment has caught on fire. There's a million fire trucks out there. They've got a hose hooked up to the hydrant. That's scary. Jesus. Yeah, that's the top of the blinds. That's well, here, let me do this. There. Is that less distracting? Now the blinds are open. There you go. Oh, look how ridiculous that looks. Yeah, there's a fire truck out there. Should I open the door? Should I open the door and be like, hey, shut that shit off! I'm fucking trying to live stream, you jerks! Great Southern says, sorry man, that was ages ago. I meant the down-facing camera for the bench. It is a Logitech C910, which what's really annoying is this is considered to be like, not the best, but like the gold standard or whatever of like simple little live streaming cameras. But it sucks a big bag of donkey dick, so don't buy one. Embrace the flash. Terminal Insanity says certain. No one FPV also says certain. Ramdonko says curtains are dry. What? Terminal Insanity says, I think he means certain instead of curtain. What's happening? You guys okay? Ramdonko says, I'm timing stuff via the lava lamp. Oh. We're talking about somebody's comment. Certain instead of curtain. Certain instead of curtain. Okay. So it looks like Tommy New said, what would make 2 of the 4 motors stop when you yaw a certain direction? Okay, now it makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's just how yaw works. That's just how. Yeah, that's just how. The easiest questions are sometimes the hardest to answer. Yeah, that's just, like, from a physics standpoint, that's just how yaw happens. Yaw, so pitch and roll are just 2 motors spinning up and the other 2 motors slowing down to create direct thrust. Yaw doesn't have a propeller that can blow in the direction that would be needed to create it. So yaw is created by spinning 2 of the motors down and spinning 2 of the motors up. So yeah, that's just how it works. In a helicopter, they've got that tail rotor that's vertical, so they can spin the tail rotor up and down to push the ass end of the helicopter around. Quadcopters are not like that. We don't have a vertical propeller to create direct thrust for yaw, so we have to spin down too. And in the yaw, so because of that, the yaw axis has the least authority, and so it can sometimes seem like kind of drastic. Like on yaw, 2 of the motors completely stop, because the PID loop has to work really hard to get any kind of yaw authority. So it really spins 2 motors down, and it really cranks 2 motors up. When you do a pitch or a roll move, it doesn't have to work so hard because it's got like direct thrust coming off of 2 of the motors. So it won't seem like the 2 motors are spinning down as hard. So yeah, that's why. Can you guys hear that when I do that? I'm scratching my throat. Riot9 says, 5th message about it now. That red light flashing is driving us crazy in your kitchen. Tommy News says, when I yaw to the right, my motors 2 and 3 stop and restart when I center the stick. No spell check, I just can't spell. So when you yaw to the right, motors 2 and 3, and that's because these guys are spinning to the left. Yep, that's correct. Usually they won't. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the tune, it depends on a lot of things, but it's not like falling out of the air, right? Although it shouldn't be any different left versus right. It should do this. It should, motors 1 and 4 should do the same thing when you yaw to the left. If there's an imbalance there, I don't know. If there's an imbalance there, then okay. So if there's an imbalance in yawing to the left versus yawing to the right, what that means is that motor either 1 or 4 are not producing enough thrust, and the PID loop is compensating by really spinning motors 2 and 3 down. So I would say check motors 1 and 4 to see if one of them is banged up or binding up. Easiest way to check that would be to take like motors 1 and 2 and swap them, or motors 3 and 4 and swap them, and see if the problem changes or stays the same. It should change. It should reverse the problem so that it does it on the other side, and now you can figure out which motor is having a problem. There you go. That took a minute for me to think through, but that's what you want to do. Apache Smoke Woods and Cypress says, how are you doing, handsome man? Good morning. What's up, collective? What's up, Apache? Michael D says, heading to bed, good night collective, and CiottiFPV PayPal. Oh shit! If you guys want to do a super chat, but you don't want the evil bastards at Google and YouTube to take 30%, you can head on over to CiottiFPV.com. There's a PayPal button. PayPal doesn't take anything. Just make sure that you do what Michael D did and tag me and just throw the word PayPal in. That lets me know to jump over here and check PayPal and see that Paul McDonald sent $5. He says, thanks, bro. You're certainly welcome, Paul. Thank you for supporting the madness. Michael Deschaux sent 50. Holy hell. He says, proofread. Hope everything is okay, my man. After the move, things will settle down and get to a new and better normal. Michael, thank you so much. Holy Christ. Super, super, super generous. And it looks like Tommy Noose has jumped onto the Patreon on the $5 tier, so he's going to be entered in tonight's giveaways. Speaking of, I think we're about ready to get the giveaways going. Thanks, everybody. Very, very cool of you. Let me get this out of here. And all right, cool. We're going to get caught up on chat. I'm going to clean this mess up that's in front of me real quick, and then we're going to do those giveaways. Where am I at? YouTube did the thing, scrolling back up, blah, 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 blah. No one said, there we go. No one says, what do you think about the Chimera 7? I just built one, haven't been able to fly it yet, but on hover raining. I don't know any of the bigger rigs. I've never even heard of that one. Yeah, I just don't know anything about anything other than the glide that's on bigger arms. I don't really know about the glide. So, yeah, for bigger than 5-inch rigs, your best source of information is going to be the Facebook group Long Range Hooligans. That's where all of the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-inch long range guys hang out. That's where you want to ask that question. I'm just not qualified to talk about it with any actual data other than like, oh, it looks like it's cool, and I try not to do that. Blizzard FPV with a $5.55 Canadian yen super chat. Thank you very much, Blizzard. Very cool of you. Canadian yen. Tommy Noose says, oh shiz. No one says exterminate. Dan636 says, my girlfriend said the king of minding my own business. Nice. Talby FPV says, get some footage of that fire. Now let them do their job. Oh, they're gone. Oh. Well, now there's just no blinking lights. That would have been a good idea. I could have tiny whooped up there, although it is awful dark out there. Borked 8 shrooms on the cow field from the cow field. Scary. Tommy News says, I know that part. I build RC Helis too. Great Southern FPV with an $8 Australian super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, I have a Rekon 5 that's driving me nuts at the moment. It's howing, yawing. He had to have meant yawing. Yeah, H is next to Y. It's yawing in flight. In the receiver tab, the yaw channel is twitching, but yaw dead didn't fix it. My initial thought is your the gimbals in your transmitter might be failing. If that's so, you should be able to see this same behavior in another rig. If you don't have another rig, borrow bind up to a friend's rig. That's the easiest way to figure out if your problem is transmitter or quad related. In the receiver tab, the yaw channel is twitching. I can't imagine that the receiver would do... I think, man, that really speaks to your transmitter being the problem. I really feel like your transmitter's the problem. The other thing that can technically cause yaw twitches in flight is a failing gyro, but that would not do anything in the receiver tab. That would not show up in the receiver tab. So it's either the gimbal... It can only be 3 things. It can only be the gimbal, whatever is transmitting in the transmitter. So if maybe it's internal, maybe it's a backpack module, or the receiver. That's it. Those are the three things. If you're seeing it in the receiver tab. So it's one of those three things. I have a feeling it's your transmitter gimbal. So fly different rigs and see if go on hook up to the simulator. Go into the simulator, see if it yaw twitches in the simulator. If it yaw twitches in the simulator, it's your gimbals on your transmitter. Absolutely no questions asked. Remy Tim dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, brother. Great Southern says 150 letters is enough. So isn't enough. So I apologize for the grammar. No worries. Tommy News says I have mismatched motors on it, 3 GIP RC, 1 Zing, but they're the same KV. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I'm scrolling up. Oh, that yaw issue. Yeah, still do what I said. Still do what I said, and you'll figure it out. Yeah, or get rid of the mismatched motor situation, because if you're trying to troubleshoot a problem and you have mismatched motors, that's a recipe for chasing your tail and wasting a whole bunch of time. So I would not really troubleshoot that much more. Swap the motors because it's quick and it's easy, but don't troubleshoot that anymore until you get a matched set of motors, because you're just wasting your own time. Great Southern says no other rig is doing it. So it's got to be either your receiver or whatever you're transmitting from on the transmitter side. Yeah, there's just nothing else that it could be. Although, check your wiring on the receiver. The wiring from the receiver to the flight controller, maybe just redo it. Check your solder joints, obviously, but like if there's a break in the wire in the middle of it, you won't be able to see it, so maybe just rewire the receiver. Great Southern says, I hope it's not a gimbal, it's a Tango 2. Well, if none of your other rigs are doing it, it shouldn't be that. But hook your transmitter up to this flight sim, and see if it does it in there. That's one of the ways that I like to troubleshoot it. All right, cool. Caught up on chat. Let me. I have a huge mess that I've just been staring at rather than fixing in front of me. I need to wake up early tomorrow, get some tinywhoop work done so that I can have some better functioning tinywhoops for the Wednesday night crash fest that will be Whoop Wednesday. I was gonna try to do it here, but we got some good questions as usual on Monday night. So let's get this in here, this in here, that's there. All right, cool. And I want to put this right here in the on deck circle. Okay, time for some giveaways, friends. Last chance to... No, it's probably too late for you to join Patreon and get in on 3 of the 4 giveaways tonight. But if you do join Patreon, you'll get in on the 2 weeks from now giveaways. So it's always a good time to join my Patreon over on CiottiFPV.com. The first giveaway is the $5 a month tinywhoop and toothpick tier. Gem Fan in their sponsor box sent over a prop locket. This is the coolest little prop removing tool. Admittedly, it's only really going to work on 1.6 inch. Those are the props on the 75 millimeter motor to motor tinywhoops. So 1.6 inch props from GemFan. But if you have a rig with those props, they are a bitch to remove, and this will make them a joke to remove. This is an awesome little tool, but it's a very specific tool for a very specific job. And then we've got just the most gorgeous little toothpick setup
in the world.
I don't know who this frame is made by, but I love it, and it pains me to let it go. It is shiny and epoxy coated. Look at that. And then it's got this just the coolest design ever. Yeah, this is just the coolest toothpick frame ever. And look at this gorgeous 3-color canopy for it. Look at that. This is going to be the sexiest Cinewhoop
in the world.
And then we've got a couple of sets of these GemFan 75 millimeter ultra lightweight, just push on only props. They're not T-mount. They're just 1 millimeter motor shaft, and you just push them on. And then a couple of sets of these HQ 3x2s and 3x1.5. So you have a bunch of different props to try out on your most beautiful of toothpick builds. Who knows who this frame is made by? Anybody? It's a sexy frame. It does not have any motor protection, but that's the only real ding on it. So yeah. Can't wait to see somebody build this thing and send me a picture of it, because I know I'm not gonna, but my God, do I want to. Okay, so I need to do some things. Giveaway tab, here we go. All right, so the stream is gonna lag because I need to reload a dozen tabs all at once. So just bear with me here. Okay, all the tabs are good to go. All right, so you're just gonna have to look at my stupid face while I do this, because I'm only on a single monitor setup still. So this is opening up. I'm gonna come in here and select everybody, copy, and paste. Actually, I need to do all this at once. So hold on. I'm gonna put all the, I'm gonna put everybody on the wheels real quick here. Somebody asked me a question that I can talk about while I'm doing this. Okay. Here's the second tier. Putting those in. Putting them all into PokeFPV's FPV raffle random number generator. Random name picker, I should say. And here's the $20 a month tier. 1, 2, 3. Okay, those are gonna go in here. And we got one more, the $30 and up a month tier. It's coming up. Right, 9 says, why can't I turn right? You and everybody else. Do you prefer balls or no balls on your Fuda? I don't know what a Fuda is. Yeah, why can't I turn right? It's actually a really good question. It's just, there's just something about our thumbs, man. They like to go left. They like to go left, man. It's not just you. But you could practice that out. You can just, you know, if just in your brain, you're like, yo, brain. Oh, you don't even, you just have to turn right more. You just have to force yourself to turn right more, and then you'll be just as good as turning right. Terminal Insanity says, don't Google it. Is it? I know what a fupa is. I don't know what a futa is. All right, I'm good to go here. We got some giveaways that are ready. Tiny Whoop and Toothpick tier is good to go. This button is the right one. Yes, it is. There's everybody. Somebody's name is gonna come out when the goat screams. Oh boy, I don't know how many seconds it's on. Looks like it's okay. Tickets are being blown away. If you see your name and it gets blown away, I apologize. Next week will be your week. 2 weeks from now will be your week. I gotta shorten this up a little bit. And there it is, Rob Axelson. Congratulations, my man. You're gonna build the sexiest Tiny Whoop in the land. Writing your name down here, Rob Axel. Son, congratulations, brother. You, oops, nope, that's a Y. I need an X. There we go. It's not Ayelson, it's Axelson. All right, cool. Next is the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop tier. This is an interesting one. Hold on, let me submit this, and then I gotta change the timing. There we go. Change it to 6 seconds. Save. Okay, cool. This is kind of a cool one. This is an OG. This is a. Well, so first off, it's a lightly used Runcam Phoenix Nano, which is going to be a great camera for this. This is an OG frame that I've kept for a long time. Like, oh, I want to build it because this is a frame that I flew a lot in my first couple of years of flying. So there's a ton of like nostalgia in this frame, but I've got too many goddamn frames that have that same kind of thing going on. I love this frame so much that I had a bunch of when Rotorius. So this frame is called the LB97. 97 is the motor-to-motor distance on this frame. It's a little tiny dead cat 2-inch frame, and my God, this was one of my favorite frames for my first couple of years. It's just magic. It's just a really cool little package. And when Rotorius stopped making this, I had a couple extras of these cut from CNC Madness. So you're gonna get 3 base plates and 2 top plates. And yeah, it's just this really interesting little 2-inch frame. It's going to come with a set of motors. These are OG Racer Star 1103 8000 kV. It also comes with what I think is an HGLR CESC. You're just going to put your own 20x20 stack in this more than likely, but it's here. It comes with a receiver. I think that's an XM Plus, and it comes with a little VTX. We know it's right. TX05, little tiny camera with the VTX attached to it. You're going to be better off with a nano camera. It's going to clear the cutouts in the front little camera area, just absolutely perfect. And then you just have to put a. You're going to do a double 20x20 stack, and then you just put a VTX right on top, and you'll be good to go. What else can I tell you about this? Nothing. It's an awesome little frame that I loved for a long time, so you're going to have a little bit of Micro King history here. If I hadn't broken this, this is what I would have flown to do the power loop and Matty flips around over the picnic tables at Quad Camp Atlanta way back when, 3-4 years ago. So yeah, it comes with some TPU feats, and yeah, just a cool little piece of FPV history that you're gonna be shocked how well this flies. And there's no props in view because it's dead cat, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that is gonna be tonight's 3-inch micro brushless and tinywhoop giveaway. Let me just throw all this stuff in here, and cool. Let's see who's gonna win. All right. This is the. Is that the right keystroke? Nope. Well, keystrokes are not working right now because OBS tortures. There we go. There's everybody's names. Here's the. Let's change the frame. We'll go to the mini quad test bench. Crush light. Here we go. Go. The names are gonna get blown away quicker, and the person that's gonna win, its name is Javier Gallardo. That's a new name. Javier, congratulations. You have won. I'm going to grab your address off of Patreon and send this on over. There we go. Awesome. Congratulations, Javier. You've got some history coming to you. And a hell of a good flying little frame. The other reason why I got those extra bottom plates cut is I got them cut in quasi isotropic, just call it quasi, carbon fiber, which is better on dead cat frames because the dead cat arms tend to be in this direction and then the rear arms tend to be in this direction. So standard carbon fiber weave will either be strong on the front arms and weak on the rear arms, or strong on the rear arms and weak on the front arms. Quasi carbon is up, down, left, right, and the diagonals. So quasi carbon always works better on dead cat unibody frames. Who remembers the LB97? Anybody? Does anybody remember the Rotorius LB97? Does anybody even remember Rotorius? They have not been around in a long time. They were my very first sponsor, and I loved their frames until they changed. It was run by a guy over in the UK. He wanted to get out of it. He turned over the business to somebody here in the U.S. that unfortunately drove it into the ground. But, you know, sometimes that's what happens. Alexander says, probably pronounced like the Lambo. Oh, Gallardo. Right. Javier Yeah, why did I pronounce it Gallardo? That's weird. That's how most people pronounce Gallardo. 5-inch tier giveaway. 20 sets of these HQ J37. This is their juicy. Word juicy is just the stupidest thing ever in my opinion. J37 props. 20 sets. I won these at Rampage when I won the micro edit thing. But I don't need this many of them. I have a couple of sets that I'm going to test and make a review video of, but I don't need 20 sets. So one of you guys is going to benefit from that. And a set of Flash Hobby 2207.5 1950 kV motors. These are going to make all the power in the world, and they might even make enough power to flatten these propellers out. Let me know if they do. What do we got here? That is going to be this one, and let's pull over here, and let's submit. And we're going to change the timing to 6 seconds, and we're going to go to the source one frame, save it, full screen it, goat at the ready. Somebody's going to win. That person's name is coming up. It is you, Patrick Scott, in the house. You've got a bunch of fun stuff coming at you. Patrick Scott has been on the so if you go on the $30 or up tier, you get entered into all the giveaways. Patrick has been on that tier for a long time, and he's won a bunch of stuff. It's cool because he's local, so I don't even have to ship it to him. I can just hand it to him. So I'm gonna write his name down. He's probably gonna be down with these J37s. Patrick. There it is. Scott. All right, now we're gonna do the Super Chat and PayPal based giveaway, which is sponsored tonight very, very, very kindly by Brain3d. Most of you already know this, but Brain3d just makes the most gorgeous 3D prints that you've ever seen. It's just wild. Like, they're... I don't know. Every time I get a print from them, I'm like, how? How is it this clean? What are you doing? Yeah, I had a great conversation with them a month or two ago, and I was calling them to ask them to do some custom stuff for me, and they, Brian started talking about sponsorships. So I was like, dude, hell yeah, I'd love to. And yeah, he's been a hell of a sponsor. So this giveaway starts now. It's $5 to get on the wheel once. It's not a wheel anymore. It's $5 per ticket. Yeah, that's what it is, because this thing has tickets that get blown away. So it's $5 per ticket. You can only get a maximum of 2 tickets, though. So $5 for 1 ticket, $10 for 2 tickets. Super chats are great. PayPal is even better, because PayPal doesn't take 30%. To get to my PayPal, head over to CiottiFPV.com, scroll down, there's a PayPal button. If you do a PayPal, tag me in the chat and say, yo, PayPal. Runcam Thumb, brand new. I haven't flown it, so it still works. Brain3d hat, as long as small, medium, flex fit hats fit you. If you're a 2XL, well, hold on. Brain3d keychain that's just incredibly printed. Bunch of random stuff. RDQ battery strap. Some stickers. If you're a 2XL, a Brain3d shirt. If you're an XL, your choice of white or gray, Gem Fan, softest shirts in the world. If you have a QX7, you're going to get an Ethics screen protector. And that's tonight's Super Chat and PayPal-based giveaway. What do you think of that? All right. I'm very jealous that you're going to get this Runcam Thumb. It took a lot of willpower to not wire this thing up to a flight controller and put it up in the air. But I just knew that I would destroy it if I did that, so I did not. And I've left myself a note here that says, Sebi D FPV goes in twice. He PayPal'd after I'd already spun the wheel tonight, 516. So there we go. We always make sure that we get people on the wheel that deserve to be on there. So, Sebi D FPV, he's got 2 tickets. And now we're going to start adding some more people. Danzilla the Terrible with a 15 Canadian Californian dollar super chat. He says, sign me up for that raffle, Captain Holden. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Deal, Danzilla. You are going to get 2 tickets to the gun show. There you go. Yarbs says lap yap. John Goblin says PayPal. Thank you, John. Blizzard FPV with a 5 Canadian Californian dollar super chat. He says, I bought the tickets. Now I have to take the ride. We're going to get Blizzard FPV on here. And, all right, cool. You guys are on the PayPal train. Let me get my email opened up here, and I'll start adding folks. All right, here we go. All right, Paul McDonald sent $10 via PayPal. Thank you, Paul. Here we go. Putting you on 2 times. Once and twice. And then we've got a little bit of John Godwin sent $10 via PayPal. Thank you, John. You're going on 2 times as well. Once, twice. All right. And then we've got Daniel Anderson with $10. He says, 2 tickets to the Yarbs show. I'm going to put you in here with your human name, Daniel, just to make sure I don't screw this up. Come on. There we go. All right, Danny, you're on there twice. And then we got a little bit of Michael Hill. Michael Hill, 2 super chat entries. Thank you, Michael. Got you on once and twice. All right, cool. Michael Hill, Paul McDonald. Got you on there. Got you on there, Michael. John Goblin says PayPal. John Godwin, rather. All right, good to go. Is the stream being weird? Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I do have a lot more dropped frames. 509 dropped frames. Still only 0.3% though, so might need to refresh. Jesse Garcia sent $15 via PayPal. I'm going to put him on twice and spend the other $5 on whores. No, I'm not. I'm a one-woman kind of guy. Gotta pick a good one, man. That's the key to life right there. Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. All right, cool. I just heard my email go off again. Let me get back in there real quick. And, oh, it was a Reddit email. Hi, Reddit. Danzilla the Terrible with a $15 super chat. 2 tickets for Riot 9. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Riot 9. Let's get you on here. And once and twice. Awesome. Got you on there twice, Riot 9. Very cool of you, Danzilla. Happy FPV says my bullshit internet is lagging. Stand by for PayPal. Happy FPV, what am I putting you on there? Once or twice? Just tell me and I'll do it. Just in case your internet wants to keep being a dick. I'm going to put Happy on there once, maybe a second time once he posts. Jesse Garcia says, other 5s to the PS5 fund. Deal, my friend. 165 goes to 170. Thank you, brother. Riot 9 says, put me down as a respin. Riot 9 does not want the Runcam Thumb. He wants to be on there as respin. Respin. Your wish is my command. Thank you, Riot 9. Very, very cool of you. Chat. Thank Riot 9. Alright, cool. Happy FPV. Let me know if you're going on here once or twice. And I think we might be ready to go. After I get Happy on here, let me click get mail once more. Oh God, I'm the worst. There's also going to be a set of TweetFPV skateboard grip tape transmitter grips. You're just going to have to email Tweet and let them know that you won tonight and pick your color and your transmitter and all that good stuff. Veritas Weasel says, congrats on the relationship. It used to be wine, women, and song. Now it's beer, the old lady, and TV. Thanks, brother. All right. Hurry up, Happy. Everybody's waiting on you. Everybody wants to see who wins. I'm going to just go through my email. You guys can't see my screen, can you? Nope. Okay, good. Sumo Paint. What the hell is Sumo Paint? Oh, God. How did you get my email, Sumo Paint? Go away. Ooh, 5% off Fandango. Sumo. Why did you email me so many times, Sumo Paint? Go fuck off. I clicked the unsubscribe button. It's probably not a good idea. I feel like when I click the unsubscribe buttons, I get more emails. Epidemic Sound. Yeah. Ooh, new Healthy Gamer Guide. If you guys don't know, Healthy Gamer GG here on YouTube will change your fucking life, I swear to God. Just go subscribe and do something good for your mental health. Whether or not you have mental illness issues, it'll just help you navigate through life in a happier, healthier way. So do it. Healthy Gamer GG here on YouTube. They're also on Twitch. But yeah, it's good stuff. Really, really, really good stuff. I promise you get a hell of a lot more out of Healthy Gamer than you will out of me. That's for sure. But, you know, he's a trained psychologist, and I'm just a jackass. Ramdonko says, Sumo White, LOL. Amazon Associates, Oya Yoga, Wells Fargo. Happy! Once or twice. Once or twice on the wheel. Everybody's waiting on you, Happy. I'm going to put Happy on there twice. And we're going to spin the wheel. Because we're all caught up. Hey! There it is. Happy Dillmore sent $10. All the giveaways because you're a good dude. Thank you very much, Happy. We're putting you on twice. We're going to spin the wheel. Anybody else that gets in now, I'll put you on next week. Happy is on there 2 times. Take that. Submit it. Come up here. This button. Ready to go. Goat! Somebody's going to win! That person's name is not going to get blown away. Oh, it's on the... I forgot to change the timing. Let's see who it is. Happy is still... Nope, Happy just got blown away. Jesse's on there. John's on there. Respin... Nope, Respin got blown away. It's Jesse Garcia. Congratulations, my man. You've won a Runcam Thumb. Let's write your name down on the thumb itself. That sounds weird. And, yeah. Congrats, brother. Jesse. Hey, Jesse, I need you to send me your info. So for your free set of grips from TweetFPV, you're going to email tweetfpv@gmail.com. For me, you can just message me anywhere. You just jump to CiottiFPV.com. My email is in there. My Instagram is in there. You can message me there. My Facebook's in there. You can message me there. I need you to message me and say, yo, it's Jesse Garcia. It's Jerry Garcia. I need you to message me, yo, it's Jerry Garcia. I'm high as hell right now, but I won the Runcam Thumb. I need your address. I need your email for tracking. And hopefully you're inside the U.S. If you're outside the U.S., you're going to split shipping with me, and I'm going to need your phone number as well. But if you're inside the U.S., I don't need your phone number. Just remind me that you won the Runcam Thumb. Hey! Tell me right now, though. Tell me right now what T-shirt size you are, and if you have a QX7. If you want, you can get a QX7 screen protector. If you or a friend or whatever, if you plan on getting a QX7, whatever. And if you're a 2XL, you're going to get a Brain3d shirt. If you're a regular XL, you're going to get a GemFan shirt. If you're a large or a medium, you're fucked. If you're a medium, I'll send you a shirt. Let me know if you're a medium. and then this flex fit hat is a small medium. So if you have a huge head, this hat might not work. I'll still send it to you if you want, but let me know. Let me know all those things so that I know what to send you. Sheesh FPV says sheesh. Remy Tim says happy. No, he's talking to Happy. Sumo white LOL. Ciotti purple. Yeah, you got to get your grips in purple, or I'll be very upset. I'm not mad, just disappointed. Happy FPV says, are those the Gem Fan shirts for Mike in China? P.S. He's in North Carolina right now. Yeah, he's coming to. We're gonna hang out tomorrow, maybe. Veritas Weasel says, if someone is conversing with Jerry Garcia, the drone isn't the only thing that's flying high. Right 9 says, how do I resub? That was awesome. You're fucked. Resub? What do you mean resub? Let me know, Jesse. Wait. No on the QX7. Okay, I'm a medium, and I'll take the hat. All right, cool. So the only medium shirts I have are like my old shirts. They've been washed, so you know you're not gonna get herpes or anything. But all right, no on the QX7. So you're gonna get a Brain3d keychain. You're gonna get the hat. You're gonna get the thumb, and I've got a little stack of medium shirts here. You're gonna get this one. I'm gonna send you this shirt. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Congratulations, brother. I'll send you some stuff, and you'll love it, and you'll prosper. Make some content with the Runcam Thumb and post it on the Discord for all of us to see, because everybody asks me what I think of the thumb, and I always say, oh, I don't know. I would love to know. I would love to see some good footage from it. What is it? 11:12. So I mean, we're over the 2-hour mark. I should probably do some more work on this rip squeak. Let's do some more work on this rip squeak because I need to get it off the bench, so that I can do some tiny whoop repairs. So yeah, let's. I got the motors. Well, we might be able to get this done actually. Probably not because of this situation here. But let's see. So this is a whole different ESC. Maybe I can tell what this pad layout. Oh, cool. Okay, so I can tell what this flight controller pad layout is. Wait, this is a SpeedX GS25. Why do I have a cable on here that's not bringing telemetry up? I mean, the telemetry is kind of worthless anyway. Yeah, screw it. The telemetry is worthless anyway. I'm not gonna repin this. So this is kind of cool. So this cable that was here, maybe it's it's wired the same. It's almost wired the same. I need to switch the ground and the VBAT. But other than that, this cable will work. Happy days are here at last. Oh, that it is a little different. They're right next to each other. Okay, but this is cool. This somebody type into the chat ESC black on the outside. Somebody type that into the chat. No. Type into the chat ESC black, red, empty. That's what I need in the chat, just in case I forget. All right, so it's black on the outside and it's red next to it. So let's just repin the flight controller side of this cable. So we're gonna grab the ground cable out of here, and then we're gonna grab the VBAT cable out of here. Good Lord, that was easy. Usually it's much harder to do that thank you for putting that in the chat, but the connector did not fight me, so I was able to instantly get this done. But for whoever types what I asked you to type into the chat, I appreciate it. Usually it takes me half an hour to do anything, so it's always nice to have that. All right, cool. Power's good to go. Putting ground on the outside. And just like that, the ESC to flight controller plug is good to go. Wiring harness, rather, is good to go. All right, cool. So then this was the side that was on the ESC, pins down, because I mounted this ESC kind of sort of upside down. Not really, though. On this ESC, they actually put the plug header on the bottom. Although, I don't know if you could really call it the bottom. This might actually not fix the problem on this rig. This rig has some twitchiness going on, which might be the gyro. I am taking an educated guess, though, that it's the that it was the what's this thing called? ESC. Thank you, Daniel. Veritas Huzo says, "Hey, bud, are you selling the Back to the Bando t-shirts?" No, I'm sending it to the person that just won the. I only had that one t-shirt. I only had that one. I have a stack of FPV t-shirts, of medium FPV t-shirts, that I just have too many, so I'm just thinning it out a little bit. So yeah, I've got a stack of medium t-shirts that are getting thrown into the giveaways. Jesse Garcia says, "Sweet shirt. This is great. I blew up my thumb a couple weeks ago." No way. Very cool. Nice. So Jesse's already set up to fly the thumb. That's even better. All right. So all I have to do now is get the flight controller spaced out to the ESC, and then the Runcam hybrid spaced out, and then just reassemble anything. So we should actually be able to get this done before midnight. Let's see. So above the ESC right now are 3mm tall nylock nuts. All of your M2 nylock nuts are 3mm tall, in case you were wondering. I don't think that's quite enough spacing for this flight controller, but let's take a look. It is not. So I need at least another... Looks like I might be able to get away with 1 more millimeter of spacing, but I don't like to have them quite that slammed. So I'm actually going to add... I have these little 2mm metal spacers, which are really, really nice. So I'm going to use a set of these, and then... But the only problem with these is they're so skinny that the rubber M3 grommets will actually slide right over top of them. So the solution to that is just to throw a little washer on top. I have these little... You can get a pack of these M2 silver washers from eBay for like practically nothing. And they're just perfect little... They don't work as spacers, but if you've got a spacer that's too thin, these will thicken it up, and they don't add any extra height, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I don't have any fancy 2mm M2 spacers left, so we'll just use these little simple black ones that I have no idea where I got these from. I think that these came with one of the split HD cams. So yeah, good luck getting these. But on Newbie Drone and maybe on RDQ, you can buy M2 2mm tall spacers. I know for a fact that Newbie Drone has them, but they're a little expensive on Newbie Drone. I'm pretty sure that RDQ also has them for a lot cheaper. So yeah. And then you'll have your nylock nuts, your M2 nylock nuts for 3mm spacers. You'll have your fancy little colored anodized ones for 2mm spacers. And then you probably have a bunch of those little 1mm plastic spacers floating around. So, alright, this is all good to go. And, alright, those guys are tightened down. So now I'm just going to take these little silver super thin metal washers and drop them down on top. And that will make sure that the rubber grommets don't drop down over those guys. And now I'm going to put one of these little brass M2 to M3 collars on here because these rubber grommets are M3 on the inside, M4 on the outside. And this little brass bastard adapts the M2 screw to the thickness of an M3. So these rubber grommets will sit on these little brass bastards tightly, versus if you just put them down on these M2 screws, the only thing holding it in place is the tension that you put from the top with whatever nuts you put on top, and that's just not good. You want it to fit properly. Because what you don't want is for your flight controller to have too much movement, front, back, left, and right. That will cause bad gyro reading, inaccurate, I should say, gyro readings. So there we go. That, man, I could have totally gotten away with. No, I couldn't have, because yeah, okay, now we're perfect. This is good to go. So here's where we're at now. Good amount of space. The thing that kept me from slamming this any tighter is the plug header on the bottom there. See the plug header getting really close to the top of the ESC there? Logitech, I'm gonna... Goddamn bastard. Tably FPV says, yo, 2 tickets, PayPal. Tably, the giveaways were like 10 minutes ago. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to put you on the wheel for next week. So let me pull up the giveaways here. And this is the raffle giveaway. I'm going to refresh this. And then here's what I'm going to do. A cache, my 3-inch frame will probably never come out. All right, Jack Johnson sent 50. Tably, thanks so much for the extra $5. I'm gonna give you 2 tickets for the giveaway 2 weeks from now. I think you might have been around a little bit on the stream, and that's why you didn't see me do the spin. But I'm gonna make sure that you get your money's worth. So here we go. I put you once, I put you twice, and I'm also going to grab your YouTube name, and I'm going to put that in parentheses. Oops. John Tably. Oh God. Hold on. PayPal after I'd already spun on 5:30. There we go. So 2 weeks from now, Tably, you will be on the wheel 2 times. Yeah, come on. There we go. Nope, that's not the right one. There we go. Focus, you fuck. Saw Powell show something similar to what Ciotti should have seen. Really? I don't even know who Powell is. Who's? Oh wait. Spaceman? Spaceman? Pavel Spachout? No, that's a TV show character, isn't it? Okay, so now we just need to space out the Runcam hybrid board, but I do need to get these wires a little bit under control here because it's getting a little woolly up in here. I also did want to change the rear mounting setup on this thing. So let's get Powell's iNav. Ah, okay. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward, like, you know, school bus or whatever. Tabby says, wait, did you get me, CiottiFPV? I did not, Talby. You messaged me about 10 minutes after I'd already spun the wheel for that. So I'm going to make sure that I get you. So I left a note, and you're going to be on the giveaway 2 Mondays from now. Like Michael Hill says, what brand are the LEDs and size again that you use to solder your motor wires to? It depends. What rigs are you talking about, micros or 5-inch rigs? On micros, I use these Flywoo 9x15s. On the full-size rigs, I use just like Tiny's LEDs, standard ones. These motor wires are jacked up on this one. What's happening here? There we go. That's a little nicer looking. Okay, so this one can come off. The one that I'm putting on here is a design by McConnell Studios, which incorporates an Immortal T holder back here and the little ears on the bottom for the Insta360 Go 2 holder, and a little platform here with zip tie slots that I can use to zip tie my VTX and receiver too. All right. So, here we go. I'm going to get these out of the way to slide this thing on. And there we go. All right, cool. It's actually the last one of these that I have left. I have to bug Matt to hopefully print me another couple of these, hopefully in purple this time. Although, hold on, I gotta get the zip tie down below there first, because once I start putting this together, it's going to kind of make it more difficult. So here we go. Some zip tie action. Oh, God. Like Hill says, thank you, the 9x15 that you're working on. Yep, that's what these are, 9x15s. Okay. So antenna is going to go there. All right, so I'm going to put this... Probably going to end up running this way. Little tip, if you're trying to like fish a zip tie through, but you need it to kind of like stick out, you can grab the end of the zip tie and give it like a little bit of a bend here, like that, and it'll kind of remember that shape, and then you can put it under, and then when you flatten it out on the other side, it'll just kind of peek up. Make your life a little bit easier there. So, okay. So we've got our Eachine Nano VTX. All the wires look fine. Probably going to put that on the bottom because it's thicker. Now I'm going to put the crossfire on the bottom because then I can just run the little crossfire antenna, the Mini Mortal T. I can run it directly into the little Mini Mortal T holder that Matt put into this thing. So let me just try to make sure that. So which way do the wires come? Okay, so the wires come out upwards like that. So if I put it like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And that'll sit pretty flat on there, it seems. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay. Or I could put the VTX on the bottom. And then I could run these wires facing down. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the bottom. So let's get some VHB on here. Thanks, guys, for talking to Tably in the chat. I didn't even think of typing into the chat. All right, a little piece of VHB. Just to, I mean, the zip tie is going to do most of the work, but VHB doesn't weigh anything, and it'll hold this in place while I'm getting the zip tie situated. So there's no reason not to throw a little piece of VHB on here. All right, and I'm actually going to cut this little. Well, no. Here's something you can do to make your shit a little bit more waterproof. The end of your shrimp wrap, get it hot, and then pinch it. Just not with your fingers, because it'll burn you. There you go. Just pinch it up. And if you want, you can hit it with the torch now while you're pinching it. That'll really seal it up, but usually it's fine. Sometimes I'll just do it a second time real quick. Whoa. Easy, big fella. Alright, there we go. That's better. And then you can even trim it down a little bit if you want. I am going to do in this case because there's going to be a zip tie running around this guy. There we go. Also looks kind of cool when you do that. You know what I mean? It's all about looks, friends. If you can't fly good, at least your quads need to look the part. Dip it in conformal coat. Yeah, that's a better way. I need to get. I have FPV worry free, which brand Dan makes. FPV Exchange gave me a bottle of it at Rampage. Very, very cool with Nevin. All right, so we're gonna get this guy kind of situated here. All right, beautiful. So that's sitting there, and then that zip tie is just going to come right around top, but we got to get the VTX going first, and I think it looks like I have this set up for those wires to run out here. All right, is that what I was thinking? But I guess I could technically also put them out the other side. Let me just see what that would look like. That would point the antenna downwards. I actually don't hate that, but then these wires and the receiver wires are all on top of each other. I try to keep the one set of wires on one side, one set of wires on the other side, so that it just makes it a little bit more serviceable. So yeah, we're going to keep these wires on this side, and then they'll be facing upwards. Yeah, it's a little bit ugly, but who cares? And then that's going to sit back like that, and I'm going to put a little TPU jib jab to hold the antenna. Do I have an antenna out? I do. One of these little Foxy or lollipops that's kind of banged up, but probably be okay. Let me put a little bit of shrink wrap on this though, and I might as well hit it with some alcohol and a toothbrush real quick because I'm a crazy person. All right, it'll help the shrimp wrap stick to it better. You know what I mean? You guys didn't know that? Actually, some shrink wrap does have glue on the inside, so that's actually not totally off. But I'm probably not going to use the shrink wrap that has the glue on the inside for this little job here. This is in the most recent FPV crate, which is super awesome. All right. What about this? This big enough? It sure is, just barely. All right, so I only want a little bit. The seam, I always like to put a piece of shrink wrap on the head of these antennas where the seam is. The seam is always either on the bottom or on the top. On these Foxy or Lollipop V3s, the seam is on the bottom. One of the most common failures on these antennas is that the top will just pop off, and then that exposes the inner elements, and then the very next crash will destroy the inner elements. So this is actually a way of making your these antennas an awful lot more durable. I really recommend doing this to all of your antennas before you put them on, because it's just such a fucking pain in the ass to swap these antennas out, and they are fragile as hell. So yeah, to me it's well worth a couple extra seconds of prep here to make this antenna more durable. And antennas breaking is one of the more common things that will stop me from flying, that will have me put a quad away and have to grab another one. It's like just annoying enough to have to fix in the field, right? You gotta like pull shrink wrap off of the VTX, dig up in there, top plate usually has to come off. It's just stupid. So yeah, I there's a couple of things I do to try to get antennas to be a little bit more durable that I think it does work. It is kind of hard to tell, admittedly. So yeah, I just put the shrimp wrap down like that, and then it'll help keep the cap from popping off of the antenna. If the cap pops off the antenna, it's like certain death. You'll still absolutely kill these antennas with the caps on, but it's just one of those things. There we go. That's all. Makes it a little bit heavier, which I don't like. Shrimp wrap is very heavy. Terminal Insanity says you should print out a design, put it on the antenna under the shrimp wrap, turn it into a yellow radioactive waste can. That's pretty cool. That is a cool idea. I don't have a color printer though. All right, so we're gonna put that on there, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is another piece of shrimp wrap on the VTX to hold this UFL down. UFL is actually, it can be stronger than MMCX. You just have to do a couple little things, and the big thing that you want to do is put a piece of shrimp wrap over it like this to hold it down, especially if you use this PVC harder shrimp wrap. It's really good stuff. It's perfect for this. The only thing about it is you got to be careful you don't give it too much heat because it will just like split as you're trying to shrink it down. It's about 50-50 for me whether I get it right or whether I get it too hot. Let's see what I can do here tonight. I try to keep the flame moving, but still it's easy to get it a little bit too hot and it'll split, but it looks like I got away with it here tonight. So that's what it looks like. And I have another piece of shrimp wrap on the other side of the VTX, just to kind of keep it from touching anything metal and shorting or anything like that. All right, so we're good to go there. This is going to get a piece of VHB, and then we're going to, actually I'll stick it down first, and then we'll run it up afterwards. So let's get another piece of VHB going here so we can stick it down to the Crossfire Nano. Alright, and by the way, double cutting the VHB like I just did, that's how I've been able to make peeling the wax part off of the VHB 1,000 times easier. If you just cut on the middle of the VHB and pull it, it makes getting the wax or whatever the hell that red paper is way harder to come off, to get off rather. That's what she said. It's way harder to get off, boys and girls. We don't want that. Just boys. No girls watch this stream. All right, here we go. Dropping it down on the VHB a little bit forward here, and that looks pretty good. I think that's about right. And now this zip tie is going to come up and over there. That'll be fine. The head of the zip tie is going to be here where these wires are, which should give it a nice little gap for these wires. But I'm also going to push these wires downwards to just kind of get them out of the way for everything else I'm about to do. It's also going to hold the VTX in a little bit of a better position. Alright, so there we go with that. Now, I can leave this. Let's get the zip tie going first. So again, the head of the zip tie is over here where that bundle of wires is. So where are we at? There we go. So the bundle of wires on the crossfire down there is protected. Like the zip tie is gonna have a little gap there, but on this side, the wires are coming straight out of the eSheen Nano. So the trick is to put the head of this zip tie right where that bundle of wires is, so it makes that 90 degree, and it gives you just a little gap, so that you're not mashing those wires into the side of the VTX. Whenever I'm using a zip tie, I always like give a couple of seconds of thought to like where the head of the zip tie is going to go, because yeah, it gives you a little tiny 90 degree angle, and yeah, if you put it in the right spot, the zip tie actually becomes more durable, which is nice. And then the other thing I'm going to do is just not crank this zip tie down, because again, I don't want to mash these wires in. We've got the VHB, and the zip tie is sitting in these nice little pockets that Matt has put into the print. And yeah, now our little communications bundle is beautifully solid back here. And I'll just clip the little end off. And away we go. We're gonna get this thing finished tonight, yo. That's wild. Terminal insanity. Oh, we got that. Hard plastic shrimp sucks. Got to be soft stuffs, or you'll burn or split it. I have pretty good luck with the PVC based shrimp wrap. I don't use it often, but I don't know. I go back and forth. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. All right, so and this little TPU UFL holder thing is on Thingiverse, on Rotorius's Thingiverse channel, oddly enough. So once you get the antenna dropped in here, you want to push it down a little bit just so that there's a little bit of slack here. At some point, the head of this antenna is going to go between two branches and it's going to get pulled. So you want a little bit of slack. But the big thing is you want to put 1 or 2 zip ties on this part right here, because this TPU will grab the antenna hard enough that it takes all of the stress. All right, so we're gonna put another. I've been using just one lately, but you should use 2. I kind of like rush through things sometimes when I'm on the stream to just try to get them done. Oh, balls. Tell me this is going to be long enough to get it into the holder. I maybe needed to do this before I mounted the shit. Fuck, hold on. I might need to pull this all apart. Please be long enough. That's what she said. Not to me, though. Hey-oh! All right, good to go. Just barely enough. There it is. Cool. Okay, that is good to go. There is technically a little slot in this TPU for this wire to run through, but you have to unplug the wire from the Crossfire Nano to get it through that slot, and I just didn't feel like doing that because the Crossfire Nano was all nice and shrimp wrapped and whatnot. So yeah, let's get this zip tie on the little TPU antenna holder. And then we can just mount the Runcam hybrid board. So this zip tie you want to pull hard because you want that TPU to really grab down on the antenna wire. So get your fucking needle nose out and just really crank on this guy because it really does make a difference. And again, I give some thought to where I put the head of this. I put the head of this little guy in the rear so that the front of it just gets full fucking clamping force. So that's what you're looking for there. That zip tie, you can already see it. You can see how it's pulling the TPU together. So now the head of the antenna, you will literally rip the head of this antenna all the way off before this budges and tries to rip the UFL off. But that's also why I've got that shrink wrap on the VTX here, is so that, God forbid this does get pulled, it won't just rip this UFL off. The shrimp wrap here is going to keep this UFL plugged in. So we've got a couple different areas where we've got strain relief, sort of, not really, but so yeah, there you go. There's the little communications package in the rear of the Rip Squeak. This is the best way that I've found to do it. Again, shout out to McConnell Studios for this excellent little TPU print. We have like a little tiny finishing touch or two, and then he's either going to sell these or maybe he'll just throw them up in Thingiverse. Okay, so we're good. Let's get the ESC plugged into the flight controller. I don't always spin these up like this, but in this case, everything there's going to be a lot going on in the front of this rig. So spinning this up will help to kind of bundle the wire up a little bit, and it'll just kind of take up a little bit less space. So we want pins down, and here we go. All right, and I'm gonna catch myself, and instead of continuing to put this thing together, I'm gonna do the intelligent thing, and I'm gonna plug this in to make sure that everything fires up before I go any farther, because now the ESC is plugged into the flight controller. So let's get our ViFly smoke stopper here, and I'm gonna grab a battery. And let's make sure all is right with the world here. So we got that, and I don't even know if this ESC works. I just found it on the table out there. Good. Not so good. So let's fix that right now. So we didn't get the last two beeps, which means that the flight controller and the ESC are not talking. The first three beeps are letting you know that the ESC is alive and well. The fourth and fifth beep are letting you know that there is communication between the flight controller and the ESC. I don't know why they would not be talking, but I think that Betaflight has begun working again on this computer. It has. How nice. All right, so let's see. Let's just take a really quick look at the configuration here. Take a look at the ports tab. It's not going to be the ports tab. All right, so let's look at the config. We've got it set on 4K. That's fine, because this is an F4 flight controller. What I'm interested in is RPM filtering is not on here anymore. RPM filtering is here in the motors tab. Bidirectional D-shot is turned on, so I'm going to turn that off just for a second here to see if we can get the second set of beeps. So RPM filtering is now turned off. Let's see. Ooh, not good. Interesting. Okay. Bueller? So what that means is, let's do this. And this isn't gonna work, but just for the sake of doing it, let's come in here, come into the motors, understand the risks. Okay, yeah. Yeah, obviously that's not gonna work. All right, so at this point we need to go into, well, so it's either wired wrong or there's an issue with the ESC and what version it's on. Yeah, so we got to get into BLHeli32, which might actually work on this old ass computer. Let's take a look. So we're gonna connect. So this is gonna, I should be able to figure out if it's a wiring problem here. No valid ESC configuration. So, outdated interface. What the fuck does that mean? So I think it's a wiring issue, but I don't know why that would be. There should at least be 2 motors connected. This is interesting. I wonder if the ESC blew up and I didn't throw it away. It's obvious the power and ground are obviously fine. This is an old version of BLHeli32. So let me plug into the plug into the Mac Mini, and Maggie just sent me an intriguing question in a text message. Stream. All right. Yeah, let's get this this ESC updated, because God knows what old ass version of BLHeli it's on. This is nah, you guys are not getting to hear what that question was. All right. This is weird. I am pretty sure that this is a wiring problem, to be honest, because pretty much any version of BLHeli32 should at least talk to Betaflight. So this is a little strange. Connect. Okay. Connect. Oh, it's not powered. There we go. Connect. Nope. Connect. Nope. What's happening? USB. Connect. What? What's going on? I'm pretty sure that this is a wiring issue. How could that be, though? How could this be a wiring issue? What's happening here? Why am I so confused? Hold on. Let me plug this USB cable directly into the Mac Mini to make sure that this isn't a this USB hub sucks a bag of dicks problem, because that has happened before. Okay, so now we're plugged directly in. Oh, there we go. USB 0. Oh! It's connected to Betaflight. There we go. Okay. Alright, there we go. Betaflight automatically launched and connected. That was weird. It must have already been running. Okay, so we're connected, and let's check for the ESCs. So if it's a wiring problem, only 2 of these ESCs should show up. Why is this taking so long? What is happening? Oh, it's trying to connect to each one, and it's waiting. I don't think it's going to work. Found no valid ESC configuration. Found outdated 4-way interface. What? Oh, please update Betaflight firmware to the most recent version. Really? What? 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 That's weird. I've never seen anything like that before. Hold on. What version of Betaflight's it on? Come on, fuckwad. Come on, dude. Yes, close. Jesus Christ. Okay. Betaflight 4.2.4. What's your problem, yo? Bueller? Okay, so I'm gonna look up the pinout, make sure it's not a wiring problem. I don't know what else it could be. What is what? That was a weird error message from BL Heli 32. That's really odd. Kevin Sumner just got here. What did I walk to? You look confused. ESC won't connect to the flight controller. Terminal Insanity says I had that happen and reseating the wiring harness fixed it. Good call. ImpFPV is out of here. Alright, so that's the Speedix. Let's take a look. Well, yeah, so I'm going to pull these, and I'm just going to take a quick look at them to make sure I haven't bent one of the pins. What's weird is it's like all 4. This is weird. Alright, so the pins are not bent on the flight controller, so that's good. So let's re-plug in to the flight controller. Alright. There we go. So that's good. And now we're going to pull from the ESC. And take a look at those pins, make sure that they're not bent. Nope, they're good. Okay. I might as well look up the wiring diagram. Okay. Speedix GS25 wiring images. There we go. All right. So, looking at it from this way, yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Skip. Wait. Battery, ground. Oh, that's weird. What? At the moment... Oh, that's real weird. At the moment, I've got the ground in the outer, in the battery plus. How the hell? I've got the ground and the battery plus both on the battery plus ports. How the hell did that power up the flight controller? Or maybe it didn't. I hope it didn't just blow up the flight controller. Nah, the flight controller was beeping and shit. Maybe it wasn't powering up the... Yeah, no, it wasn't powering up the flight controller. Flight controller's not blowing up, though. Good on you, Talon. I think it just wasn't powering up the flight controller. For some reason, I just assumed that it was powering up the flight controller. Jesus. Yeah. The ground is on the battery plus. Wow, I had this harness, like, in there. Okay, so we need to go and take the ground out from the outside and jump it over 1. Alright. Yeah, Jesus, this wiring harness was plugged in to this ESC. And I usually only do that when, like, it was working like that and I took it apart. I don't know what happened. In this case... Oh, I know what happened. The other side of the... I had the wiring harness plugged in backwards to the ESC. The other side had that... had it wired properly. Scary. That's bad practice on my part. Alright, so we just need to pull that from there. And then we're going to go right next door. And this is a bitch to do because everything's all twisted up. But I should just be able to sneak it on in there. There we go. Probably going to have to reorder the motors too because I didn't pay any attention to where the motor wires are running. 1 to 1, I don't know. 1 to 1 might be going to 4. Never know. Okay, so now we're good to go. And pins down, which is like that, and then wrap it around under. Okay. Come on. Get up in there, you little jerk. Are you too good for your home? Yo, I rewatched. I watched like the first 30 minutes of Happy Gilmore the other night. Oh, and I just finished Ozark too tonight. But I rewatched. I mean, I've seen it a million fucking times. I watched. Yeah, the first like 30 minutes of Happy Gilmore. I'm disappointed. What I'm really disappointed is that I still know every line from that movie. I mean, like beginning to end, and that's not good. But it didn't hold up as good as I'd hoped. It's still funny though. I'm simultaneously shocked that it held up as good as it did, but saddened that it didn't hold up better than it did. Ready for 5 beeps? That was evil to make me wait like that, you little shitbird. But, you know, good game. I am going to hook this up and get the... I know that this is on an older version of BL Heli. So I'm going to hook it up to the Mac Mini real quick here and just update BL Heli 32. So stand by. Because this might be on one of the versions of BL Heli 32 that was no good in terms of RPM filtering. Hey, there's the ESC. It's on 32.7, so it's actually fine. But we'll get it onto the newer one because then we'll have the high and low PWM. So we're going to go into the ESC flash drop down from the top. And son of a bitch. There is not a newer version. They have not made the newer version of the so this is a pretty old ESC. Although this says server error. Does that mean this thing's not hooked up to the internet? What the hell's happening here? Come on, yo. It is acting a little weird. Hold on. I should be able to do this from the from ye oldie computer. And then you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I did not think this is the thing that would stop me. Come on. I want to get this put back together, yo. I want to get this done. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Betaflight 32. And connect. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Kevin Sumner with a 555 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says five beeps. Thank you, dude. All right, it's connected. Let's check. And there's all 4. All right, so it's right in here. ESC flash. Oh, there we go. No, 32.8 is not the one that I want. So I don't have the newest version of Betaflight 32 on here. So, yeah, don't ever flash 32.8. 32.8 has problems. You want 32.9. So let's go to... I think this will bring me to the website. No, it won't. There we go. What? What's happening? All right, let's kill power to it because this is going to take a minute. BLLA 32. Good. Ah, there it was. There's a direct link to it. New config. All right, cool. Athix says you're still streaming. I am. What tipped you off? Can't set me up like that. Chrome OS, Mac OS. Yes. Hopefully this will run on this old ass computer. Circle of Death at Castle Crash, dropping down from above the tree line to pop balloons without hitting the ground. Oh, that would have been cool. No one FPV says Chimera 7 does that. Delayed secondary being spoofing out first time. Not a great feeling. Yeah, it has to do with if it's like an older or a cheaper ESC, it will have a slower. It's just slower. All right, come on. Install, you bastard. There we go. It's gonna overwrite the old. Oh, fuck you. Got the wrong one. Why would that? That's weird. There it is. There it is. Why is it only 7 megs? Seems kind of small. 32. There we go. Replace it, baby. There we go. 26 megs. Okay. Let's see if it'll work. Oh, that's interesting. It's still slow like that on new gear. Huh. Derp, 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 derp. Yeah, I know. And open anyway. Thank you. Come on. Verify it. While I'm waiting, I can start putting things on top here to get the to get this guy locked down. So I need spacers. What the? Come on, man! I just went through this. Yeah, so we're gonna do M3 Nylock. You fuck! What are you doing? We're gonna go Nylock on here. And yeah. Because that's gonna be a 3mm spacer, and I think that'll be enough. Maybe? I do have another set of these brass guys put aside, though. I wonder if it needed more spacing last time. Well, let's try with these. What the hell? Do I need to do that? Fuck you. Just open shit, dude. Come on. I actually disagree, Brandon. Because I've never had to deal with a single driver issue. And you PC Master Race folks have to deal with that. So, in that respect... What the fuck is wrong with you? Why? It might just not like the the fact that this computer is 12 years old. Yes, I'm sure. Jackass. End of Ozark was wild. There it is. That was weird. Yeah, End of Ozark was nuts. Alright. Let's give it some power. And then we're gonna connect. Oh, come on now. What are you doing? You fucking shitwad. Alright, more Nylock nuts and spacers. Okay. Here we go. And there are the fireworks. Happy Memorial Day, friends. If you're into that kind of thing. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we're going to get these Nylocks just snugged down, just ever so slightly. Don't want too little, don't want too much. Just enough to barely compress the rubber grommet. You'll see it. You'll see the rubber grommet start to squish out a little bit. What the fuck is going on? Why? What are you doing? It's stuck checking remote files. This is because this computer is 1,000 years old. It's just not going to work. Plugging it into the old computer, or the new computer rather. Should have just done it when it was plugged into here a minute ago. Okay. And Oh, but wait, I was having the fucking problem. 10.0.3.9, 10.0.3.8. So I technically don't have the newest version of BLHeli32 over here. But let's just try it one more time, because that was a weird message it was giving me. A few sensors activated. Lux F7 is an interesting little thing. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I've never heard anybody definitively be like, this is why there's that big delay. But what I've noticed is that on older ESCs, that delay is definitely there more. What the... What the hell, dude? Why is this not... Just not gonna update the ESC. I'm just gonna leave it on 32.7. I'm gonna move the PWM up to 48, and it can go to hell. Let's spin the motors up to. Well, no, this is on. Oh, this is on Betaflight 4.2. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll do it on here. Motor 1 is where motor 2 needs to be. Motor 2 is where motor 4 needs to be. Motor 3 is where motor 1 needs to be. Motor 4 is where motor 3 needs to be. So all the motors are in the wrong spots. Let's fix it real quick. Motors. Get resource. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to do my little trick with these motors where I just randomly reassign them, and then I know you guys can't see this, but I just want to get this done as quickly as possible, so just bear with me here. Yeah. So I'm going to do AO3. Okay. And then I'm going to do motor 2 to BO1. This might actually get it. And then motor 3, I'm going to put onto BOO. And then motor 4, I'm going to put to AO2. Save it, and let's see if any of them are in the right spot. It might actually have gotten all 4 of them. Either all 4 are going to be right, or all 4 are still going to be wrong. What the hell? Oh, power's not on. There we go. All right, motor 1, wrong. Motor 2, wrong. Motor 3. Motor 3 is right. Cool. Motor 4 is wrong. So motor 3 is correct. Back into the CLI. Typing resource. So motor 3 is correct. So we don't need to change that one. So let's change the other 3. Motor 1. AO3. We're going to move motor 1 to BO1. Motor 2, we're going to move to AO2. Oops. And then motor 4, we're going to move to AO3. Save it. And one more of the motors should be correct now. Maybe they'll all be correct, though. Motor 1, correct. Yay! Motor 2 is right. Motor 3 is right. Motor 4 is right. Now let's check their directionality. One of these motors sounds a little rough. Motor 1 is wrong. Motor 2 is wrong. Motor 3 is wrong. Hey, they're all wrong. Down with that. So then we go to motor direction. Oh, it won't even let me. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do in BL Heli 32. It's fine. Fuck it. ESC setup. Connect. Come on. Check. Come on. Quickly. Motor 1 is normal. We're going to reverse it. Right setup. Okay. Motor 2 is reversed. We're going to put it to normal. Right setup. Motor 3 is reversed. We're going to put it to normal. And motor 4 is normal. We're going to move it to reversed. And now we're good. Cool. Close it. And all set. Happy days are here at last. ESC is all hot, or not ESC, VTX is all hot. Okay. License verification. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, Brandon. Weird. Maybe, yeah, maybe the BL Holly site is, fucked into a cocked hat. Okay. Got those on there. Check and make sure that they're not too loose. That one might be a little tiny bit too loose. Let's just give it another little quarter turn. That one's definitely fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. I'm actually going to give this one just a little tiny bit more. Okay. One of these motors sounds a little banged up, to be honest with you. This this thing took a hell of a hit at Rampage. So, I don't know. We'll see. Next question. Is there enough space for this to clear? Let's take a look here. The answer is a resounding no. The other problem is that these nylock nuts are not even. So this thing is wobbling up here. That's interesting. So I've got 3 millimeters of spacers on there. I think I see the problem. I think this one needs to get cranked a little bit. Okay, so we've got 3 millimeters, 3 mil of spacers on there. Oh, I was using those. Oh. Okay. Okay. So I was using 5 mil big boy spacers. How the hell was I doing that? I had a weird stack set up with this thing. And I was going to take a picture of it, but then I was like, nah, I'll be fine. And here we are. So I had these guys, and then I had the brass bastards inside of them, I guess. So what do I need to do here? So this latch needs to go on. And then I just tighten that one up. Man, I don't know if this is enough spacing though. I think I need to space this out more. So I could just drop a set of 1 mils on top, but the problem I'm going to have is, and this is probably why I was not using these nylocks on top, or in between rather. So let me try it the way that I had it, I guess. Oh, look at me. Man, I have my moments. No, that doesn't make... Yeah, it does. I see what I did. Man, I used a lot of these little brass collars. I stacked up 3 of these brass collars high. Oh, look at me. What a... Okay. I'm going to do it the way that it was set up, because that's kind of cool. So, the only problem putting the Runcam hybrid board up on top is that you want to try to get the spacers that it's going to be pushing up against completely flat, and that's hard to do. Like as we just saw when I was doing it here, I couldn't get it, and the Runcam hybrid board would wobble. So to get around that, the solution, the reason that's a problem is when you tighten down the nylocks on these rubber grommets, it's like inexact. Like you might have one a little bit tighter, one a little bit looser. So the way to get around that is to only screw things down to like metal on metal, and that's what I did with these little guys in kind of a clever little way. So I ran. So the rubber grommets are taller than one of these little brass guys. But if you put a second brass guy in there, you can lift it up. See that right there? So that's 2 of the little brass collars top to bottom, and you can see the rubber grommet is taller than like 1.5 of them. So what I then did is I put a third one, and then I put these rubber guys around top, and then so now I've got on this stack I've got an M3 nylock on the bottom, and then the physical PCB, and then another nylock pushing down into the physical PCB, and then just metal spacer, and then the brass guys. So we've got a perfect stack of all metal on metal, and then the Runcam hybrid will sit up here perfectly flat. So it uses a bunch of these little brass collars, but I mean, who cares? They're cheap on Amazon for a bag of 100. And the nut grabber makes short work of these guys. Yeah, I'm impressed that it passed me for figuring that out. That's a cool little solution to it's kind of a subtle problem. I mean, like, it's whatever. Like, I could have sat here with those fucking nylocks and just kept screwing around with them, and I could have gotten the Runcam board pretty flat. But this is a neat little solution. This is technically a sort of a better solution. The only problem with doing this is that I don't have... So the only thing pushing down on the top of the flight controller is going to be the tension from the Runcam hybrid board pushing down into a set of rubber grommets. I do prefer to have the nylocks pushing directly down on the top of the flight controller, but I don't know. It's fine. Well, it was a little twitchy. Technically, this might have been part of that problem. This could have had something to do with that problem. So we'll see. I'm gonna put it back together like this, and if it's fucked, I'll actually change it. But I think this is gonna be totally fine. See, so now I got those collars on. This guy's gonna sit here and look, it still wobbles. You son of a bitch. Still wobbles. Did I not get these all tightened down? Nah, they're all tight. I take it all back. I'm going to use the nylock Because the only reason I wanted to do this is that here's the other thing though. I am running out. Technically, I am running out of M2 nylock screws. Bueller. Now, yeah, I would rather have the nylock screws pushing down at a set amount of pressure on the top of the flight controller grommets. This is the kind of shit that does make a difference on micros. That really doesn't matter on 5-inch rigs. Micros are much more sensitive to this kind of bullshit. So you gotta, if you want to get your micro flying properly, that's the caveat here. And properly is not even the right word. The right word would be perfectly. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to stupid ass shit like this. Basically. But it makes you a better builder, so in the end it's actually a good thing. Because when you learn to build a micro that flies perfectly, you can build a 5-inch that flies perfectly, like with your eyes closed. It's kind of nice. Swinging with the weighted bat. Come on. Wouldn't be able to do this without this beautiful nut grabber. Links down below in the description. Come on. Keep getting them, little nut grabber. Yeah, buddy. That's right. Alright, one more. And then I'll put it back the way that it was. With the fact that the Runcam hybrid board was still wobbling, in order to fix that with the brass collars on there, I would have had to loosen one of them, and then it would be loose, and I don't want that. These nylocks have the nylon so that if they're loose, they're at least not going to go anywhere. They're not going to be rattling around on you. So that's another part of the reason that I'm choosing to go back to this. We'll set up here. There we go. One more. Okay, there we go. And we're going to use our little WeHod driver on this one, on these nylocks. There we go. And again, when you're tightening this up, when you're tightening these up, you're just looking for the rubber grommet to like balloon outwards a little bit. Doesn't have to be absolutely dead on, but as soon as it starts to balloon out, that's when you want to stop tightening it. Just got to make sure that you're not ballooning the rubber out by pushing down on your driver. Let the driver float and just twist. There we go. And then you want to make sure that there's a little bit of movement on the flight control. Like I have these guys a little too tight now. Okay, that's better. A little bit of movement, not a ton. Still got them a little too tight, I think. You should be able to push down and compress the grommets a little bit, but what you don't want is to be able to push down and have the grommet come away from the nylock nut. That's a little bit too loose. And then I'm going to have to adjust anyway because I'm going to need to get the Runcam hybrid board to sit flat. Any of this making sense to anyone? Are you guys all checked out by now? It is kind of late, and I am super in the weeds right now. Okay, so let's get this fucker sitting flat. Okay, so it's wobbling on these two corners, which means that these two guys are too high. Right? Yeah. So I'm actually going to back this one off because this one's a little too tight. I'm gonna back it off just a little bit, and now let's try again. There it is. That was easy. Yep. Cool. Wow, that was staggeringly easy. I do need a little bit more spacing here, though. So, because I think there's a shitload. Yeah. So I need to put 1 millimeter spacers on this, on these 4. And also I need to keep in mind that this little latch has a little bit of thickness, and it's going to go on this side. So, yeah. Let's get...
諦めんなよ。諦めんなお前。どうしてそこでやめるんだ。そこでもう少し頑張ってみろよ。ダメやめ諦めたら周りのこと思うよ。応援してる人たちのこと思ってみろって。あともうちょっとのところなんだから。俺だってこのマイナス10度のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ。絶対やってみろ。必ず目標達成できる。だからこそネバーギブアップ。
Good call, Charles. Alright, so a little latch. It's gonna hang out. Oh, I forgot this about the latch. I need one of these. I need one of these to be cut down a little bit. There we go. You gotta cut the corner off of the spacers to get it to clear the latch. Oh, you got to do them both. That's right. Okay. You need to cut a flat spot in the spacers for them to clear that plate. Luckily, I have a bunch that are pre-cut down. Sometimes you have to do this with the ESCs too to get these 1 mil spacers to sit properly on the ESCs. They'll put FETs and shit like too close to the mounting holes. It's just outrageous that the manufacturers do that, but I mean, hey, what do we expect? We demand all of our stuff is extremely cheap, and you know, side effect of cheap is garbage quality. Okay, here we fucking go. There it is. Alright. Plug in the Runcam. Let's wait to plug it in. We'll plug the camera in first. But before that, we will put... I'm going to use these little brass collars up on top of this thing to hold it down because because I'm out of nylock. Plus, with the Runcam Hybrid, you got to be really careful with nylock screws on top. They are big enough to break the components off that are really close to the holes. So, yeah, using these little brass grommets with a touch of Loctite is my current favorite method of holding the Runcam Hybrid board down. Okay. And now with this stack, I can crank these things down hard, actually. So I don't actually need the Loctite on these brass grommets. You gotta Loctite the brass grommets if you're gonna do this. If you've mounted your stack with rubber spacers, which was the setup before, but is no longer the setup. All right. Yeah, these little guys are just a little safer. Okay, last one. So all this little bullshit that takes forever on these micro builds. It's a big difference between these and 5-inch builds. Can't just slam them together. You gotta pay attention to all this little bullshit. Okay, and just give it a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit. A little bit. And a little bit. Cool. What's next? Camera? I think the camera's next. Let me just get the lactate off the top of these. Okay. Yeah, it's still low enough for the battery strap and everything. Nut grabber is officially done for the night. Hybrid 2 camera coming in. I think it needs to plug in backwards. So, well, yeah, let's actually get this plugged in. Because I'm not sure which side I want this plug on. So I want it on this side? Yeah, I do. So this plug is here, and then I'm going to run this camera cable up over top of it, I believe. Cool. So let's get this MIPI plug on here. Okay. And this little friend is going to come down here, and we've got a lot of extra cable here. But that's okay. This is fine. This will tuck right under that top plate. Here are the screws for the camera. Let's get that in there. And I think it's top plate, and away we go. This is a this Runcam Hybrid 2 was sent to me by the Timcos. Shout out to them. Huge thanks. They actually sent me 3 Runcam Hybrid 2 camera and boards because they ain't using them anymore. And they know that I am, so they will get absolutely tortured by me. And I can't wait. Okay. This one on top. Alright, boys and girls, we are almost done here. I am gonna test hover this because it was twitching often enough that I think on the test hover I will be able to tell you whether or not I fixed the problem. The other reason this was coming apart is that the HD lens on the Runcam Hybrid that was in it got exploded at Rampage in Micro Mayhem. So swapping out the ESC was just like a bonus. I was flying it around. It was still flyable. It was just a little bit twitchy. But yeah, we're gonna hover it to see if the ESC fixed it or if I'm gonna need to take it apart again and swap the flight controller this time, because sometimes it's hard with subtle twitching. It's hard to know if it's the ESC or the flight controller. So I took a guess that it was the ESC on this one because this ESC, the ESC that was in it, is not an ESC that I trust. It's a Hack RC ESC, and you know, with the name Hack RC, if you're gonna name your company Hack RC, your shit's gonna be suspect for me. You know what I'm saying? I am using titanium hardware. These micros, the M3 titanium hardware seems to be plenty strong for these micros. I don't use it on the 5-inch rigs because they do generate enough energy in crashes to break the titanium hardware. But on these micros, where you really do need to save the weight, it seems to be plenty strong. Propellers! Let's put some... Hey! What props are we going to put on here? Let's do the Dow 3028s. They are definitely gonna work. Chat, you guys still there? You sleeping? Who's sleeping? Who's sleeping in chat? How dare you? I've got a high right and a high right. I need 2 high lefts. One. And there's another one. Brandon's still here. Kevin Sumner's still here. I should be asleep. Does that count? Alright. Oh, look at me using titanium M2x7 prop screws. What a fucking Chad I am on this rig. At the right usage of Chad? I don't know. Cool kids say shit. I just try to figure it out from context and spit it back out so I'm less old and moldy. Is this arm broken? Son of a bitch! This arm is broken. I didn't even... Oh. God damn it. That has nothing to do with the twitching, and I don't think it's broken enough to cause twitching. God damn it. So I'm just gonna keep charging ahead, but I'm gonna fix this arm on the couch after the stream. On my time. My time. Where are the extra arms for this? I think they're in the dining room. Tommy's still here. Denzel, they don't glow in the dark, but my God, do they glow in UV light. I wish Dal had done a gray version of this 3028 prop. Because it's either this wacky-ass neon yellow or this like Tiffany blue color. And both of them look stupid in the HD feed from the Runcam hybrid. What I really hope is that GemFan will do a 3030 propeller. Who that is? Nice. Sage 100%ed Elden Ring. 42 out of 42 achievements. Nice. Very cool. Quandangle Dingles is this character's name. 12-hour stream. Feels like it, right? Now we're about to wrap this shit up. Oh my God, it's almost 4 hours. That's what happens when you do a bunch of giveaways and, you know, unboxings and shit. Okay, here we go. Test hover coming at you. If anything is wrong, I don't even know. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not over discharging this battery. Come on, battery, have just enough juice. 14.7, 3.67, that's not enough. Do I have one with a little bit more ass to it? 14.9, that's a little better. 3.71, that's not quite enough though. Hold on. Find one that's at 3.8. That'll make me feel better. 3.72. Ugh. I hate this battery anyway, so let's over discharge it. Oh man, my bag isn't even ready. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Rip squeaks coming out of my ass right now. Hang on. Hang on. Transmitter, come to me. Oopsie. There we go, okay. Antenna, this thing is on crossfire, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. Let's over discharge this battery. What do you say? That fan's on, but that's fine, whatever. No, I'm turning the fan off because that's gonna. I could make it act a little weird. Okay, here we go. Prepare for some crossfire noise. Not a lot, but a little bit. And battery. Okay, here we go. Alright. So this is a Speedix GS25, which sends the... you know, we're also capacitorless on this. I hope we're going to be okay. But these GS25s are really good ESCs. And they've always been fine without a capacitor. So this should be no different. I think I got the motor rotations correct. Should be good. Let's see. This is still set on tinywhoop mode. Crossfire model. There we go. Come on. Hey. All right. Oh. All right. Let's see. Oh God, that battery has just barely enough to get it up in the air. I didn't see it doing any weird twitching, but that battery took a big shit dump really quickly. Why don't I have another battery that's a little bit more charged than this? God damn it. Let's see how bad I over discharged this one. Where the hell are all my 4S850s? Oh God, it's a 10.9. 3.7. Oh God, cell 3 just went to 0. What? Why? Why you gotta do me like that, cell 3? You fuck. Come on now. Hold on, guys. I gotta try to bring this battery back to life. Hang on. Hang on. This is one of the reasons I really like the Bardwell boards. I'm just plugging the balance leads into a bunch of 4S batteries, and they'll just send voltage to this thing. Ooh, that's at 3.8. I'm going to use that battery in a second here. Yeah. The polyfuse is clamped down at 1 amp, so they're going to send 1 amp of juice to between all these cells, and it does a really good job bringing batteries back to life. It's a nice little trick. All right, I got a battery that's at 3.78. That should be enough to hover for 30 seconds to see if there's any weird twitchiness, and then we'll be good to go. Meanwhile, I'll give that battery a second to come back to the land of the living. Here lies cell 3. You guys still getting crossfire noises? You shouldn't. All right, here we go. And oops, come on. There we go. Okay, and oh wow, okay. This 550 battery is too thin for this battery strap. Of all the weird little problems. I think we're alright though. Hold on. Yeah, we're fine. Better. Nope. Nope. It is the flight controller. Let me check these motors though, because one of the motors was kind of banged up. All 4 motors are a little banged up. Yeah, these motors are banged up, but it's not that bad. Shit. All right. Well, it's you guys can't really hear it, but I can hear it as I lower the throttle. The gyro gets upset. Yeah, I mean, I'll fly it outside tomorrow to confirm, but I'm pretty sure that that the problem's still there. So, yeah. 50-50 bit me in the ass, I think. But, hey, it's off the bench. It's got an ESC in it that I trust now. So, although the Hack RC ESC was technically fine. So, damn it! Well, you know, you win some, you lose some. What a horribly anticlimactic end to a very long live stream. It's been 3 hours and 51 minutes. I'm gonna end this before it gets to 4 hours because that's just out of control. What's happening here? Thanks for hanging out, friends. My God. Those of you that are still watching, the fuck is wrong with you? Love you guys. I'm gonna go. I need to grab a little snacky and then I'm getting some sleep. Yeah, that's right. Made up for Bardwell. Exactly. All right, be good. Love you guys. I'll see you Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. CiottiFPV.com or else. Here's some flying from 2020 in March. Same spot as the beginning of the stream. Love you. Goodbye. Jesus. Wait till you see what that was. Bye-bye. Night, guys. big old power loop. See how the props are doing.